Kingdom. It's time for All Chiefed Up with your hosts, Steve and Mike Williams.
Hello, Chiefs Kingdom. It's
What's
Saturday
up?
night tailgate. Steve, what's going on?
Not much, man. Ready to talk to the ACU crew here, baby. It's been a wild week at the old Steve Williams residence. So, yeah, it's going to be nice just to sit here and talk about Chiefs football with lovely people. That's what just been looking forward to it.
Right. Still not a lot of news out here. We're in a little dead period. It's okay.
Yeah.
Tonight, we're going to take our shot of me and Steve's shot at getting the 53-man roster pre-camp edition. Why?
Tough
because
to do.
every year at camp, there's somebody stands out, somebody outperforms somebody, we sign somebody, some random person gets dropped or traded crazily. Like last year, we had Lonnie Johnson had that last year, Steve. Like everybody thought Lonnie Johnson was going to make it last year, and then lo and behold, Lonnie Johnson did not make it.
Yeah, I really thought I was one of those people, man. I thought for sure he was going to make the squad, and he didn't. But we didn't need him, obviously. DBs looked good, so.
Right. Yeah, we did not. Casey Fan Dan with a $4.99, a 5-bomb super
Appreciate
sticker.
you, Fan Dan.
Thank you, KC Fan Dan. We also got a $2 from Adam. Best show out there for KC News. Appreciate you, Adam. You're the man.
Thanks, Adam.
And then we got a 10-bomb already in the house from Matty Ice. He says, hey, gentlemen, I know it's a little late, but congrats on the 10K. I was away vacationing with the fam. I just wanted to say thanks for your dedication to providing the crew with outstanding content. Matty, we thank you for being part of the crew. How about that?
Yeah, appreciate the 10-bomb, Maddie. That's freaking awesome. If you guys don't care, go hit that like button real quick. Let's get more people in here for the night.
Let's
And have a good Saturday night tailgate, baby. But yeah, appreciate you guys and donos. You guys are on it before we even got on here today.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's going to be a good night, Steve. Gary's in the house. Cindy Jennings is in the house. Wyatt Gibson is here. Jay Cruz. Gary is here. KC Fan Dam, which we already called out. Lukey2424. Why did I say Lukey24? Lukey24. Let's go with 24. We have Adam Lewis. Julia Gulia. K. Wayne is up in here. What's going on, guys? Anthony Solis. Lego My Ego is in the house. Ray028 is here. What's going on, Ray? The usual suspects, Steve. I think people are ready to talk some football.
Yes, sir.
What do you guys think? Do you guys think we should just jump right into getting this 53-man, or do you guys want to take a little time? Want to do a little foreplay?
Do a little foreplay. I tell you what, I think we should just do it, position by position, and we can get back to it whenever we want. We don't have to do it all at one time. We can take our sweet time. We're going to be here for a couple of hours with these fine people, so we have plenty of time to get all that done.
Right, I hear you. Well, let's go ahead and name our first position. First though, Stephen James with a 2-bomb. He says Saturday. Let's freaking go. Stephen James, what's going on, brother? Yeah, let's jump in with the first position. I think the first position we'll do is quarterback. I don't think this is going to surprise anyone. I really don't. I think it's just
Blaine Gabbert, QB1.
Yeah, I think we're going to go with that. I think what we're going to do is we're going to stick with Patrick Mahomes as QB1. We have Shane Buechele and Blaine Gabbert making the roster. I do think the Chiefs will take 3 into the season, Steve. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree. I mean, they obviously did that last season because they didn't want Shane Buechele moving on somewhere else. I think they're still there, but I don't think they feel comfortable with Shane Buechele taking the reins if something were to happen with Patrick Mahomes just yet. So I think that's why they went and got Blaine Gabbert to kind of do that little Chad Henne type deal, just come in and right the ship and don't do anything crazy, right? So I think they'll do that. I think they'll keep 3.
Yeah, I'm with 3. A lot of people are saying, hey, that new QB rule now, they won't do it. I think the QB rule is going to force more teams to start taking 3 into it because you cannot pull a guy off your practice squad that morning or whatever to come on and be your third alternate at quarterback, which is that new rule they put in because of Brock Purdy and the 49ers, So you have to have 3 before you can name 3. That's the way I read the rule. So it looks like more teams will take 3 into the season. And like you said, Blaine Gabbert, I think he's going to be solid enough to play. Obviously, the Chiefs had him handpicked, went out and got him. Because there was people talking about, several backup quarterbacks. who was it? The guy from Louisville, Teddy Bridgewater. They were talking about. They were talking about
Cam Newton.
All sorts of guys.
Right.
They went with Blaine Gabbert, surprised everybody. I will say that's the 3 I think they're going to take. So let's move it on to running back, Steve. Last year they took 4 running backs. This year I think they take 4 running backs. And it looks like it's going to be headlined by Pacheco, McKinnon. I think Clyde is going to be on the team. And Deneric Prince, I think, gets that 4th spot. Do you see anybody out of these 4, Steve, that probably is not going to be on the team? Or do you think this is pretty much it?
Unless some kind of a trade comes in that we're not expecting, I think this is the 4 that you're getting. I think they do take 4. They did it last season. And it's going to be these 4 guys that you're looking at, baby. That's just all there is to it. I don't think the quarterbacks or the running backs, there's not a whole lot of debate there unless somebody gets moved.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because I'm just not seeing anybody. There's nobody that right now looks like LaMichael P. Ryan is on the squad. Everybody's like, y'all forgetting about LaMichael P. Ryan. I'm like, well, he has a chance to make the team. Him and Deneric Prince. There's going to be somebody fighting for that 4th spot. Again, Clyde's making it. If he's here, he's making it. And Pacheco and McKinnon are hands down going to be there. So
more than likely, that 4th spot's going to go to Deneric Prince, and we probably won't see much out of him other than kick returning. That'd be my guess. Probably won't get on the field a whole lot playing running back. Maybe a little bit here and there, but not much. But I think we'll see him mostly returning kicks.
Yeah, I think that too. I guess we can move on then. Right now we're sitting at 7 players on the roster, Steve. Let's move it along to tight end. Shall we do tight ends? I think they're going to take 4. They took these same 4 last year. I think they're going to take these same 4 again this year. A lot of people are saying Matt Bushman, Kendall Blanton, names like that. I don't see it. I think Blank Bell offers you enough in the short yardage push situations. I think Noah Gray is going to be your eventual replacement for Travis Kelce. And I think they're not ready to give up on Jody Fortson yet. So I think that's the 4.
Yeah, totally agree. Like I said about the running backs and quarterbacks, I don't think tight ends is that up for debate either. I know a lot of people, like you said, are big on Bushman, but I just don't see it happening, man. With those 4, Noah Gray is your number 2, hands down. And they're always going to use Jody Fortson if he's healthy, if he can stay in there. So I think this is what they do. Blake Bell, he's got the experience, and also he's the best blocking tight end in football, or one of them. So I think that's just how it is. But yeah, let's not run it all up.
Vendale said, "What's up, Williams brothers? What's going on, Vendale? Good to see you here." Julia Gulia says that the running back room will be Pacheco, McKinnon, and Prince. She is on the firm they're going to trade Clyde Edwards-Helaire train.
They might. It's a possibility.
Are they going to do it before camp? No. Are they? So it's just a pre-camp. Come on, guys. We can't see the future like that. I don't have the 8 ball. I don't have
version of this.
Yeah, this is who may make the roster on the team right now, not who can we sign and then let them make the roster. That's too hard. I can't even do this way. So it is that. Yeah, a lot of people asking about D-Hop. There's still no D-Hop news. I think the Patriots are out on D-Hop. I still think that.
They're still trying to act like they're not. I saw another story today where they were like, oh, there was mutual interest, and they're still in on D-Hop and blah, blah. I just don't see it. I don't see it.
I don't either.
Wow, where would he go there?
Right. Chris Cheek says, what's up, guys? What's up, Chris?
What up, Cheeks?
Good to see you, my man. Gary Hollins on the CEH needs to be traded bandwagon. Pacey said, what's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? What's up, Pacey? I like the name Pacey. I used to watch Dawson's Creek.
Dawson's Creek. I knew that's where you were going.
That's the only, that's where Pacey had to have come from, right? I've never heard that name. I like the name. We'll roll with it. What's up, Cole? Cole's in the house. He says, have a good 4th, brethren.
What up, brother?
You have a good 4th. Are people already starting fireworks in the suburbs of Kansas City because of Kentucky? I'm already hearing it.
Yeah, actually the kids are outside right now watching fireworks because everybody's shooting off fireworks.
It'll be tonight, tomorrow. Somehow the 4th has turned into a firework lover's dream. It'll go for about 2.5 weeks.
It'll go for a month.
Yeah, Stella, absolutely. When she was a puppy, she loved them. She'd be outside. Now it scares her to death if she even walks out of the room and hears it. She has PTSD, by the way, so she'll be hiding for 2.5 weeks. It's weird. But yeah, moving on. Yes, here was the Julia one I was trying to find. They'll trade CEH before the 53-man roster solidified. It's a good possibility. It's possible. Hey, people watching our shows let us know that me and Steve's always hated Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and we said he would 100% be traded. I will have you know, I don't think we've ever uttered the words Clyde will 100% be traded. Have we, Steve?
No.
Yeah,
we just said he was a good candidate.
Yeah,
He said he was a good candidate. So, yeah, I'm going to pull this up from Cole. He says the Patriots extended 2 players recently. Could very well still be in for D-Hop because extending both players in theory frees up space. Yeah, I don't think New England's out on trying to get D-Hop. I just don't think there's mutual interest. I think that part's BS. I don't think D-Hop is in on the Patriots. I think he's just stalling. There's nothing about the Patriots that makes me think he would want to go play there. Why would he want to go catch balls from Mac Jones? Why would he want to go lose 8 games next season? I just don't see it. And I was being generous.
Hey, he wanted some lobster and some crab cakes and some New England clam chowder. Is that the red or the white?
Or the white?
Always forget this part.
The white.
The white. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Yeah, it is what it is. But so far, that would give us 3 quarterbacks, 4 running backs, and 4 tight ends. So we're sitting at 11 players on the roster. If you guys agree with who we've named so far, give us the thumbs up. Hey, let's do it like Chat Sports. If you agree, put A in the chat. If you disagree, put a D in the chat.
Just why? You just have to go why.
I don't know. Brenda Pike.
What up, Brenda?
What's going on, Brenda? How are you? Yeah. It is what it is. What's Brian Parrott over here talking about? Let's talk to Brian Parrott for a minute.
I got
$300 in anti-aircraft supplies and Sneed's barbecue. Life is good. Sheriff turned off and let me go. What are you doing? Brian, are you trying to start a war? What? Oh, my God. What's wrong with this guy? What's up, Brent? What's going on? Good to see you guys. Again, if you're just getting in, hit that like button. Hit the like button. If you haven't subbed yet, give us a sub. We're just having a little football talk. Trying to name this 53-man roster. Steve, you want to jump back in? Let's jump back in. You want to do wide receivers next? You want to do offensive line? Which one you want to do?
Let's go ahead and tackle the O-line. Sounds good to me.
Let's tackle.
We're not going to leave Chat Sports alone. We're not going to leave your child alone, Cole.
Yeah, we can't do that. I don't have nothing against Chat Sports. They have something against me. Let's get to the O-line. How about that?
I've never watched it. I've never seen it.
I haven't either. O-line, we're going with Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, Joe Toney, Donovan Smith, and Jawan Taylor. That's your starters. I think that'll be the starters going in after camp too, unless there's something crazy happens, and I think that's your initial 5. There's, of course, going to be more linemen. A lot of people say, how many linemen will there be? Will there be 8? Will we take 10? Last year we took 9. Steve. Let me try to remember these guys off the top of my head here, who they took in. They took in Orlando Brown Jr., Joe Toney, Creed, Trey Smith, and Wiley. That was their starters. And then I think they took Allegretti, Kinnard, Prince Tega, and Garen Christian, I believe, was the other one. So Garen Christian's still on the roster. Do you think Garen Christian makes the roster back-to-back years, or do you think he doesn't make the roster this year? I think he's a cut casualty probably.
I don't know. Who else you got on this roster? How about that?
Listen to this guy talking trash. We got Prince Tega, we got Nick Allegretti, we got Darian Kinnard, and we got Wanye Morris. And I think they took 9 last year, and they will take 9 again this year. And I believe that means Garen Christian, sadly, is probably on the outside looking in. And I think Lucas Niang, I don't take Lucas Niang either. I don't. Is the offensive line a place where they could make up for the fullback position? It's a very good possibility. You could take 10 offensive linemen. They could sneak a Lucas Niang in there. They could sneak Garen Christian in there. The way I have this 53 set up and the way Steve's got this 53, the way we got it, Garen Christian just couldn't make the squad. And I'm not sold on Lucas Niang. The Chiefs they may be in a totally different ballpark. Seems like Lucas Niang and DiCaprio Boodle are 2 names that they just want to see. Like they're going to hang on to these guys until they become Pro Bowlers or bust. And I don't see it.
They might actually hang on to Niang just for Julia Gulia. just to make her happy. That'd be my guess. No, but I don't think I see K. Wayne saying down there, Yang doesn't want to play. That's just a vibe I get from this guy. I don't think he even cares. Like, he's literally been around for 15 years now, and he won't even get on the field for one reason or another. It's always something, and I'm just kind of done with it. I think everybody else is too. And honestly, when he did play, I wasn't like super impressed. So.
Right. HD Chiefs fan, what's up, man? He says, how can you guys think there's a trade partner for Clyde when there's so much free agent talent available at running back? There's a lot of free agent talent out there. Now, look, Clyde is locked up for the year. He's going to have to be extended. But you could probably get Clyde, I would think, for, what, a 5th-round pick?
Yeah, something like that.
Like, I just don't think – Brett Veach is not like, hey, we're going to – Clyde, that's a 2nd-round, 3rd-round. It's not happening. I just don't see that happening.
He's not dumb.
So maybe somebody would give up a 5th, 6th-round pick in hopes that Clyde comes in, maybe enhances their backfield this year, maybe give him a chance of getting a starting role, get an up-close and personal look, and maybe extend the guy. Again, what's his extension number going to be? It ain't going to be that big. If they re-sign Clyde – I mean, look, he's not going to get Dalvin Cook numbers. He's not getting stuff like that. Dalvin Cook and these guys can't even get on a roster right now because the running back position is just devalued, Steve. I don't know if running back will ever come back with the way the rules of the game and the way the game's starting to shift to the high-powered, pass-happy offense. I just don't know if running back's ever going to make a comeback.
Yeah, I just don't see it either. But, I mean, who all is actually available right now besides Dalvin Cook? Obviously, that's the big name.
Ezekiel Elliott's on the block.
That's right.
Not the block, the free agency market. I don't know why I was thinking trading block. But, no, it was that. They're big names. There's a couple other big names. Kareem Hunt, I think, I think his career might be in the tank. I really do. I think he might be done.
I don't know. He might have a career in kicking.
Steve, too soon. Anyway, I think his career may be done, and I'll tell you why. Cleveland paid him a pretty good amount. Cleveland is now telling everyone that he don't have it left in the tank. He's lost a step. Now he's not as shifty. He's not as fast. He never was that shifty and fast, to be honest. And if you're a running back with that much mileage, a lot of mileage, I don't know, but it's enough. He's kind of like a 2005 Toyota Camry. You know, just one of those reliable kind of things. Like, if you get them in your backfield, it's reliable. It can get you where you want to go. Is it a Lamborghini? No. He's not going to get you there very fast.
It might break down a little bit here and there.
It can break down, but I tell you what, the parts on the Toyotas are cheap, Steve. They're a dime a dozen. So, it is what it is. Let's see if anybody agrees with this O-line. Julia says, I'm comfortable with the O-line.
You know why she was comfortable with it? Because Lucas Yang wasn't on there.
Yeah, she's comfortable because we knocked him out. K. Wayne says that 8 will suffice. He thinks we might take 8. I would agree with that, but at the same time, O-line's one of those things where you can have several O-linemen go down the same game within snaps of each other. Those dudes are taking hits constantly, rolled up ankles.
Who was the guy?
Pulled muscles.
Like a tackle a couple years back, I want to say. Who was it? Martinez Rankin. He came in, he could play like 2 plays, and then like broke his ankle or something in Tennessee. Yeah, it's like stuff like that happens.
Rankin was stinking.
But I mean,
he didn't last too much.
But I don't know if they'd have to only do 8, with that extra spot on the roster. But we'll see.
Well, my point is they took 9 last year. I think they'll at least take 9 this year. Who are those guys you're gonna cut?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the ones that you named pretty much have a spot on the team.
Well, here's your 4. Who are you cutting out of these 4? You're not cutting Wanye. I don't think they're ready to give up on Kinnard just yet.
Absolutely not.
Prince Tega is a very good swing tackle. I don't see how you get rid of him. I take him over Lucas Niang all day. Nick Allegretti, I think that's your interior. He's your backup for your guards and your centers. He's kind of
proved himself. Yeah.
I just don't see him taking anything less than that. Yeah. So that's where we're at. That's going to give us now 3 quarterbacks, 4 running backs. That is 7. We have 4 on the tight end room. That is 11, and that gives us 9. So we're at 20. We'll get to wide receivers in just a second. Let's read some more chat. Let's see. there was something I wanted to see, and wouldn't you know it that the chat jumped on me. I tell you what, sometimes I just want to scream.
Keep up. I'm going to put a poll up. I just
Get a poll going. Oh, here we go. Night Hunter. He had brought this up. He said a free agent, Josh Jacobs. Is Josh Jacobs a free agent, or is he's under contract, isn't he? I thought they just franchise tagged him.
Yeah, I think they franchise tagged him.
So he's got to play with the Raiders or sit. I mean, they could trade him, I guess, but is what it is. David Howe says, is Kelce going to put a move on the Chiefs and demand to be classified as a wide receiver? No. I do not see that happening. Travis Kelce.
He'd have to rename tight end U. He got too much going on invested in that.
Yep. Ray says, I'm pumped to see an actual left tackle on the O-line by OBJ Jr. Slapnuts. Let's hope we're saying this by the end of the year and not, my God, I'd like to have OBJ back.
I feel like people have a lot of...
It's hard to put trust in Donovan Smith, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah, I feel like people have a lot of confidence in him, considering he was awful last season. I know he played injured, and he was good the year before that. But, man, I mean, I'm not fully sold on it yet, but I really hope he gets back to his old form. I do. Because if he gets back to his old form, then, yeah, we have an upgrade. But last year he was the worst pass protector in the entire league. He had, way up there in penalties. It's a little sketchy. It's a little scary, so we'll see how it goes.
Chief says Kinnard is injury prone. I don't know if Kinnard is too injury prone. Has Kinnard even been injured while he's been on the team?
No.
I mean, he may have missed like a day of camp with I'm pretty sure Kinnard's never had a single injury.
I don't think he was even injured in college.
That would have took him. I mean, Steve, we can double check this, but I'm almost positive Kinnard's not had any kind of injury problems with us. Did he get on the field? No, he was a rookie that was struggling to pick up right tackle. But I think with his maneuverability to guard, I think he's going to make the roster. I don't know why they would kick him off of it. Joshua Shaw says, I will be at training camp August 2nd and 4th. Any chance I see you guys? Sorry, but no, we will not be there August 2nd and 4th. We'll announce that a little later. We actually got the exact date and different things. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but it's not the 2nd and 4th. We couldn't. That was a weekend we were talking about doing, but we couldn't make that work. So
Kinnard,
sorry,
we forgot. Kinnard missed his freshman year of college because he tore ACL, MCL. But after that, he hasn't had any more injuries. So,
okay.
I think he had a little shoulder issue or something, but nothing major. That's the only major injury he's ever had was his freshman year. I forgot about that because he didn't play that.
Yeah, that was out of Ohio, I think. He was playing in Ohio at the time in high school, and then he come in as a freshman. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Leonard Fournette is available on the market. That's another big name. I just keep remembering these names. Actually, HD Chiefs fan, just seeing this. My car is burning. Fournette is available. Dude, what a scary thing. Did y'all see pictures of that? Like, who's driving down the road and your car just catches fire, man? That was a nice-looking ride, too. It was like an SUV. I want to say it was probably like a Range Rover, Land Rover, one of those.
That's probably why. Those are the most unreliable cars in the entire world.
Dude, I tell you
what,
those
they're so expensive, but they're always broken down.
Those are sweet SUVs. Reliability ratings, horrible. You could go get a 10-speed from Walmart, and you will be more reliable than those things.
Right.
I asked a guy one time, and he's like, well, yeah, they break down all the time, but if you can afford to buy one, you can afford to fix it. And I was like, okay, cool, but you're never going to have the car. It's going to be in the shop all the time. Like, what's the purpose of that? Moral of the story, don't buy cars that are made in Great Britain. I think that's where those are made. Somewhere over there. Let me see.
European cars cost too much to fix. Isn't that the old saying there?
Right. Jose Salas, what's up? What's up?
What's up, Jose?
What's up, Eric Olson, too? I seen your comment. I don't know if I brought your thing up or if I got distracted, but I wanted to say what's up to you as well. You had asked something. Josh Zimbauer says, what's up, y'all? What is up, Josh? We're just talking about this 53-man roster. Julia Gulia says, Justin Watson is mid. He's mid, but, I mean, let's be honest. Like, Patrick Mahomes threw to him a lot last year. He got a lot of snaps. I mean, he kind of did what? Didn't he do the MVS role for MVS? kind of.
She didn't say he was bad. She just said he was mid, and that's a real good definition.
Yeah, he's mid.
That kind of sums him up, right?
Right.
I think a lot of people were really high on him last year going out of camp and stuff. They thought he was going to be something.
Yeah, he was that name that everybody threw around like last year. Like, oh, he's going to be awesome. Kind of like this. Brent, everyone's sleeping on Richie James. Is Richie James the new Justin Watson? That? Oh.
Not yet.
I like Richie James. I think Richie James is going to make the team. Probably. There's a good shot. I don't know. I'm starting to come around to Richie James more and more, which I think that means we should get into wide receivers. Why not? Let's get to the wide receiver room. Let me find my first wide receiver batch. Here we are. We got Rashee Rice. We have Sky Moore. We got Kadarius Toney leading the pack as the number 1, and MVS on as the what is MVS? He going to be like a 2 or a 3? Who cares? MVS is on the team. He will not be a surprise camp cut. Sorry, it ain't going to happen. But these 4, Steve, don't you think these are the solid 4? These are the quad.
Right.
The solid quad. I don't know why I keep saying quad.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. But Kadarius Toney and MVS are definitely your 1 and 2. No doubt about it. Sky Moore is going to be your 3. Probably going to play a lot of that Juju role. And then we'll see how much work Rashee Rice gets as far as being a rookie in the Andy Reid offense. Might get a little bit more work than Sky Moore did last year just because he's a bit more of a red zone threat. Like he's a bigger guy, likes to play jump ball, things like that. So we might see a little bit more of him in the red zone. But I think for the most part, man, if they don't end up getting D-Hop or something like that, I think that you're going to mainly see Kadarius Toney, MBS, and Sky Moore, and Travis Kelce catching all the balls for the most part.
Yeah, well, speaking of D-Hop, D-Hop is the number 5 wide receiver making this roster. No, we don't have D-Hop. We're doing it without D-Hop. We're going to go ahead, and I'm going to take 7 wide receivers. Steve, do you have any problem with me taking 7 wide receivers? I just think –
No.
I think we need to take 7. Why? Because I think Richie James and Justin Watson will both make this squad, and I think the hype is going to get Justin Ross on the squad as number 7. I think that's where the fullback's coming in. And again, it don't have to just be the fullback. You know, the way they do this, it's not like you're replacing 1 or 2 or whatever. Justin Ross, I think, has to do it. There's been so much around Justin Ross, Steve. You put him on the practice squad, and somebody's taking him off the practice squad. The only way he don't is if he comes out and has a monumental failure preseason where he just looks like – remember the Jamar Chase preseason when he got drafted where he just dropped every single thing? They say he's going to be the biggest bum to ever play. I wish that would have held true. He actually decided he could catch a football once the game started. But, yeah, Justin Ross cannot have a failure preseason. There's just been too much expectation thrown on the shoulders of that guy, and is he going to deliver? I think he'll deliver enough that they have to get him on the squad, especially if we don't get D-Hop.
Yeah, I mean, even with D-Hop, I think Justin Ross makes the squad. It kind of works well for him. He's a big time boomer bust pick. Everybody knows that. But I mean, it kind of goes both ways. Like if D-Hop's not here, it opens up a spot. If D-Hop is here, you have more depth at the wide receiver position as far as really, really top end wide receivers with him and Kadarius Toney and MVS and stuff like that. So I think either way, I think it's a good chance Justin Ross makes the squad. Plus, if he goes onto the practice squad, just off of hype alone, somebody's going to try to poach him. I'd almost bet it.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing. I think last year we did it with Shane Buechele. You had to take Buechele because somebody was going to rip him off the squad. I think Justin Ross is that situation this year. Do they care if he gets ripped off the squad? That's going to be the question. That's what I'm saying. He can't have a monumental bust. He can't come out and once he gets playing against actual opponents in a Chiefs uniform, come out and say, I can't get separation. I can't catch the ball. I don't know the playbook. If he comes out and does that, they might be like, okay, cool. He can go. If somebody wants to take a shot on him, he'll take a shot.
Yeah, but I'm going to go ahead and end this poll. I had a poll up, which receiver's not making the cut. 65% agreed with us. John Ross is not going to make the cut.
I don't see John Ross making it.
There's like a handful of people out there that I've seen like commenting, being like, man, John Ross is just, y'all are sleeping on John Ross, and he's just so fast, and with Andy Reid, he's going to be amazing and all that. Man, his injury history is rough. And I doubt he's still as fast as he was back during the combine. I mean, it's just like you're going to lose a step, or at least a half a step, and also all the injuries he's been through. I don't know, man. I don't see him. I could see him being on our practice squad, and I think he could safely stay there. I don't think anybody's after him, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, probably not. I'm a Lewis here. Everybody's saying Justin Watson getting cut. He just signed a 2-year deal. I just don't see how the Chiefs are going to say, look, we're committed to you. Here's a 2-year deal. Cool. 3 months later, cut the guy. Do you see that happening, Steve? I feel like Justin Watson's pretty secure on this roster. He can also provide special team duty if needed.
Maybe. I feel like Justin Watson is the casualty if they sign D-Hop. I think if they sign D-Hop, Justin Watson, they'll probably just go ahead and get rid of him.
You think Watson's over Richie James?
Yeah, I think so. I think they like Richie James, man.
I think they brought Richie James in to do the Kadarius Toney role if Kadarius Toney can't get on the field. Do you kind of get that vibe? To me, I feel like they're kind of similar. I don't think he's as shifty as Kadarius Toney by any means, but
most people aren't. So
that's true, man. That is true.
He's just one of those guys that has his own unique skill set. Like it's like Tyreek Hill, but not like. He's not Tyreek Hill. He's not as fast as Tyreek Hill, but he's just got a whole different skill set that other people don't have, you know? Right. You don't see it often.
Hefe says, I need to see Justyn Ross on the field. I think everybody does. You know, for all the talk, Steve, all the talk, Justyn Ross, everybody was freaking out over Justyn Ross. Now that we're getting time to put the pads on, everybody's kind of tempering that expectation down a little bit. They're like, hey, we just want to see him play.
We've been trying to say that for the longest time, man.
You know, people don't care. I'm just going to say it. When there's hype and there's off-season and you're bored, they just want you to go with the hype. And when you're the voice of reason, sometimes people just crap on you. They're like, hey, you suck. You're not a Chiefs fan. You want him to fail. I don't want him to fail. I just said in February, at the end of February, like, chill out on Justyn Ross. Let's let him play a game first. Yeah, it is what it is. Night Hunter says, I don't see John Ross making the 53. A lot of people are agreeing with you. I think that's true. Reach, what's up, buddy? He says, I truly think Sky Moore is going to ball out this year. He went to school in the same county as me. That's cool. So cool to see him get drafted to my favorite team. What's up, all? Reach, that is pretty awesome. Did you play football with Sky Moore, or did you play football? Did you not? Oh, he went to the same school in the same county. So, yeah, you could have played. That's kind of cool. Well, he didn't say it was the same time period. I don't know. I'm thinking too much. Sorry.
You okay over there, Mike?
Are you okay? You're not even talking to me. I'm just sitting here by myself rambling.
I was looking up Richie James' contract. I was trying to remember what they paid him.
They paid him a little bit. I don't think it's enough to get rid of. But 4 years?
No.
I was going to say, my God, that's insane.
Sport Track. Let's go to Sport Track. They'll have it. Yeah, I was kind of wondering. I was going to compare his contract to Justin Watson's because we know he's on the 2 years, $4 million, something like that, like $2 million a year. Is that right?
Yep. The Diet Dew brothers having a Diet Dew. What do you think?
I think that it won't open Sport Track. It's making me mad.
Sport Track's been screwed up all day. I tried to open it earlier and it wouldn't do it. Either that or the internet sucks. I'm going to talk to Brent. He says you can call Watson mid all you want, but Mahomes trusted him more than most other receivers on this team. He did trust him a lot. That doesn't take away from the fact that Watson's kind of mid. I mean, is Watson ever going to be a number 1 or a number 2 on any team in the NFL? No. So I think if you can't be a top 2 option at least or a 3 option, you're probably got to be considered mid. That's not a knock on him. It's just, he's fast.
Man. Did they only sign Richie James to a year? Is he just a year? Because if that's the case.
Maybe.
Yeah, he's due.
Brian Parrott, what are you talking about?
$1.2 million, man. So, I mean, Justin Watson, they're paying him more. I'd say if Richie James shows up at all and then they were to sign D-Hop, Justin Watson's going to be the casualty. I'd almost bet it.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. Like, a lot of people don't get into the contracts and things like that, and that does have a lot to do with it. if, for example, you can cut Justyn Watson and it's cheaper and his play is not as good, or you know what I mean? Like if Justyn Watson and Richie James are neck and neck, you might just make the cut that's easier on the pocketbook there. I mean, it's that simple. And if we don't know all the intricacies of how everything's laid out, how are you ever going to call that? You're guessing. It's a shot in the dark. Brian Perry says, y'all gave me the boot. Steve hates me. I'm telling Chris. Who gave Brian Perry the boot? What are you talking about? Did you get kicked off the chat? Could have been a moderator. It wasn't me and Steve. We don't have enough time to do that.
I didn't boot anyone. Stephen James with the membership. You're not a new member, Stephen James, but we'll say that. New member.
This is welcome to Matt Castle. Actually,
you,
maybe today's just the anniversary. His logo went to red.
Oh, okay. That's what it is.
Maybe it's like
this little thing.
Yeah, it don't tell us that exactly. There's a lot of things. I'm not going to get into YouTube. Let's just not. It's almost time for me to go crazy with YouTube, but it's not. Ray says Justyn Watson isn't going anywhere. Mahomes likes him. Brian Gales, what's up, Brian? He says John Ross practice squad. He's our insurance policy if Richie James gets hurt. That could be something. It could be. Brian Parrott, now he's back and he says hit that like button. And we agree. 88 people watching. Can you guys please take 1 second, back out, hit that like button. Don't back out of the video, back off the chat. If you're watching on a cell phone, I believe you have to hit the X on the live chat. Get it going. It's complicated. It's a YouTube thing. But yeah, hit that like button. Let the YouTube algorithm do its work. Throw it out there to more Chiefs fans. We're just hanging out on Saturday night. I think that's the offense, though, is it not, Steve? I think that wraps the offense up. I want to count the players. Let's go ahead and run back through them really quick for everybody if you just now got here. Patrick Mahomes, Shane Buechele, and the beautiful man that is Blaine Gabbert. We're going to take 3. We're going to take 4 running backs. We've got McKinnon. We have Clyde, yes. Pacheco, and we do think Deneric Prince will make this roster as it sits right now. Is there a cap casualty and somebody cuts him in camp? We could pick him up like a Rojo situation, possibly, but as of right now, it looks like Deneric Prince is it. Tight ends, we're going to go with the same 4 they did last year. Noah Gray, I think, is your eventual successor to Travis Kelce. Kelce's on the roster, and I think Blake Bell offers too much, and I don't think they're ready to give up on Fortson yet. Blake Bell is the one guy, Steve, out of that group that I probably could live with cutting if you wanted to cut Blake Bell. But if that just means you're bringing in another tight end, I don't see them doing it. So, I mean, if you want to cut it to 3 tight ends and open up a spot for somebody else, maybe.
And Reid likes Bell. I mean, that's all there is to it.
That's my thing.
That's the team. He went to the Jets, and we turned around and got him back. So, right. I mean, there's definitely something to that. And he's just a great blocker, and he's got the experience. So I think they'll stick with him.
We got offensive line. You got Jawan Taylor, Trey Smith, Creed in the middle, Joe Toney, the Pro Bowler Joe Toney. And you have Donovan Smith. Donovan Smith just looks old in that picture, man. Is he really that old?
I don't think so. What is he, like 28 or something?
Surely. He looks like he's about 56 in that picture. Am I right or wrong?
He does. He is 56.
He might be 56. I hope he can handle those long drop backs. Backup O-lineman, we're going to take 9. We got Wanye, the 3rd-round pick. We have Darian Kinnard. We have Nick Allegretti. And we have Prince Tega Wanogho. They took 9 last year. We're going to take 9 again this year. That brings us to the wide receivers. We just talked about it, but we'll run them by one more time. Rashee Rice, 2nd-round pick. Sky Moore, 2nd-round pick last year. Kadarius Toney, the number 1. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, I don't think he's going to be a cap casualty. I think Marquez is going to have a good season this year. And then we took Watson, Richie James, and we think Justyn Ross will get that 7th. We're going to take the 7th. Let's move to the defense. I'm going to forewarn you guys. Those were some pretty slick graphics, though. Right, Steve?
Yeah, but there's none for the defense.
There's none for the defense. I'm sorry. We ran out of time.
We'll get to the defense in a minute.
Steve,
first of all, Donovan Smith is 30. So there's that. He just had his birthday on June 23rd, I believe is what it said. So
wait,
30 years
he's
old.
30, and when we talk about picking up somebody from 28, Danielle Hunter, 28, and everybody's like, he's washed. What are you talking about?
Well, it's a different position, right? And I don't know.
Get out of here.
Who knows? Who knows what they say? But, man, I mean, obviously, if you look at the offense that we just picked, to be on the starting roster, right? Or not starting roster, but the final roster there. I feel like the only person that I'm kind of iffy about, and it's not he won't make the team, is Donovan Smith. I'm just iffy about his play. Like, are they going to eventually have to do something there? Like, do you think, what if he were to come out and play poorly like he did last season? Maybe he didn't recover all the way from his injury he was dealing with. Maybe he took a step back. He's 30 years old now. I don't know, man. That's the only place on that offense that I look at, and it kind of just it doesn't scare me, but it like throws up a flag. Like there's reason for concern. Like I want to see it. It's kind of how like a lot of people's like I want to see Justyn Ross on the field and see how he does. I want to see Donovan Smith in this offense and see how he does because he's not blocking for Tom Brady who steps up in the pocket and throws the ball in a split second anymore.
Right. Well,
and
you're not alone. If you watched our video yesterday, ESPN ranked the Chiefs roster as the league's best. Mike Clay and Seth Walder, they ranked the Chiefs number 1. They said it was weighted towards Patrick Mahomes, blah, blah, blah. But they named the X factor for this team right here, Donovan Smith, because they said he wasn't that good last year. Second worst pass block win rate among tackles last season, third highest penalty rate among O-linemen with 500 offensive snaps. And he says, considering who will be playing behind him, Smith's play will be extremely high leverage. I think a lot of people are saying, hey, look, this offense could make or break Donovan Smith. Is he going to be an anchor on the left side? Is he not? We're going to have some problems and start shifting in here and there and moving Juwan. And I think it's valid what you just said. Like, I think Donovan Smith is kind of the weak point at this time. Right. But that does make him the X factor then, because if he plays solid, I think the offense rolls. If he plays crappy, we could struggle a little bit. And
right,
that's also saying Wanya Morris isn't going to be able to do that. That's also saying Jawan Taylor can't slide and Wanya Morris can play the right side. Andy Reid's been impressed with Wanya Morris, so that's what camp's for. So again, this is just an early projection. Let's answer some comments really quick before we go to the defense.
Yeah, I got one up here right now.
Go ahead.
Del Monte, he says he's slightly concerned for the tackles. What's going on, Del Monte? Good to see you here, man. Is he the guy that told you needed to get a fresh cut?
Yeah. I still need a fresh cut. If you can tell, I just don't shave a lot. Like, save a lot,
Del Monte,
shave a lot.
You're one of those guys that like to come on and just like critique things.
Why is his name Del Monte Green Beans?
I don't know.
That's great. That's like the green beans you buy in the can. Aren't they? They called like Del Monte Green Beans?
Maybe. I don't know.
That's great. I don't know.
But, I mean, yeah.
I do need a fresh cut. It's not a troll. I need a fresh cut.
We're just going to start calling him Dale. Dale from Hale. Dale from Hale.
Ooh.
We're slightly concerned about the tackles as well. Not necessarily Juwan Taylor. I think he's one of the best right tackles in the game. I think it'll be fine. The only thing I'm concerned about is Donovan Smith, how he translates to this offense. Is he going to be better than he was last year? And also, the only other slight concern with the offensive line is that both of them are a downgrade on run blocking from what we had last season. So we'll see how that works out as well. But other than that, man, I think they'll prove to be a better offensive line than even last year. I do. I'm just going to have some faith. But it does, concern me a little bit.
Brent says Donovan Smith always finds a way to hold at the worst time.
Yeah, he had a lot of penalties last year.
Dude, when tackles hold a lot and they get called for it, there's holding on every play. Let's be honest. You could call holding on every single play when it comes to that offensive line half the time. That's why we always get a little irritated when they wait till we get to the red zone or we chunk off a big run and they have to just call it.
Right.
And it's like it gets annoying. But yeah, Donovan Smith, that's usually a sign that you got beat, your footwork's not very good, you're not taking the right angles. I'm just hoping. I'm telling you, like Steve said, Tom Brady, he gets rid of the ball within 1.3 seconds or something. He rarely takes over a 5-step drop, and he's just boom. I can't think of his name. Patrick Mahomes is not going to do that. I don't know why I couldn't get that out.
We're going to call him Travis Mahomes. That would have been cool.
Well, because I had Tom Brady stuck in my head. And I don't
know.
Had
a love child.
I got so many names.
Him and Kelce were celebrating the match win, and they accidentally got pregnant. And they had Travis Mahomes. Anyway, hey, Julia Gulia says that Are you saying that you would get rid of CH for $200, or you would trade him for $200? Is that what you're saying?
She'll give him the Tyreek Hill for $200.
That way you can give it to the old man he beat up.
Yep. Lego says, Mike and Steve, what's the chances you guys get Carrington Harris on the show? Not very good. We've reached out to Carrington Harris. He ignored us. He told us to suck it. Let's move it along. No, I'm joking. He didn't say that. He just didn't respond. His loyalties lie with Cole, I guess. I don't know. People think we battle. Like, people think us and Cole, like, if you go on Cole, you can't come on here. If you go in here, you can't go on Cole. If you watch Cole, you can't watch us. If you watch us, you can't watch Cole. Like, there's no battle with us and Cole. Like, if y'all haven't seen it, we're friends. We come on each other's shows countless times. I want to get Cole on a Saturday Night Live. He was actually in the chat just a few minutes ago. Like, if he hated us, he does a bad job of showing it. Cole, you creep. Okay.
You deal weed.
You little dillweed. Get out of here. I'm blocking him. Lewis says he would trade Clyde Edwards-Helaire for a pack of gum and a water boy.
Man. So
everybody's mad at Clyde, man.
They are. I think they let it cloud their judgment just a slight bit because Clyde produces when he's on the field. He really does. He's not ever been bad. He's not going to get you that third and short. He's not going to get you that yard when you need it, but he can do a lot of other things. So, I mean, I'm not opposed to him playing here this year because he's on his contract year and he has to play well this year. He's going to have to make some money somewhere. So I'm not opposed to it, but I know people aren't excited about it either.
Right. We just broke the century mark. If you guys are new here, and we just went under as soon as I said that. But go ahead and hit that like button. Sub if you haven't. Chiefs Live says, how's everyone doing? We're doing well, Chiefs Live. You was the guy that we featured on the show the other day. I found it on Twitter. I was like, Chiefs Live, I'm going to feature this on Twitter. And then I was like, is somebody just ripping this guy off? Like, I knew that the thumbnail looked similar, but we did feature you on the show yesterday. You can go back and watch it. We featured somebody else from there, and they were kind of excited over it too. Tom's in the place. The place to be, Saturday Night Tailgate. I hope Donovan Smith can step up this year. We need him to. Yes. I think Donovan Smith, he kind of is that X factor. I think ESPN hit the nail on the head there. I really do. Yeah. They're usually stupid. I think they got it right with that entire article. I want to give those two guys props because the Chiefs are the best roster, and I think Donovan Smith's the X factor.
Absolutely. That's what I was just talking about. Like, he's the only thing on the offense that I really question. Because, like, people say they want to see Justin Ross on the field, but, I mean, he's like the 7th wide receiver. He's not the starting left tackle, you know what I'm saying? It's a little bit different.
Right. Old man Yeet. If Smith is healthy, he's quicker and more athletic. Than who? OBJ?
Yeah. Yeah, he is, probably.
You think?
But, no, he is. But, my thing is I don't think he's that much quicker, but
I would have to. Man,
why are you so confused? OBJ is pretty unathletic. Like, that's the big knock on him. He's slow and unathletic. You can't go through him, but you can go around him.
You can go around him.
That's because he's slow. That's the thing with him. But I think Smith's a little bit faster or quicker.
Well, I'm gonna tell you.
But I don't know why you're so confused about it.
Because offensive line is not as easy as he can get. I know he can be beat with speed rushers. I completely understand that. But a lot of the times you get beat with speed rushers is because your footwork and different things, like on certain plays and certain things, you lag a lot. He even kind of said that with Burrow the other day. The fact that we pass block so much means that defensive ends never have to do anything but just completely pass rush. You know what I'm trying to say? There's so many intricacies that go in. That's why it's so hard. I don't know.
That's why Donovan Smith is the question mark. Can he block for Patrick Mahomes? Like we said, he's coming from Brady, who literally takes a 3-step drop, steps up in the pocket the way you're supposed to, and throws the ball in a second and a half. You know.
I just wanted to bring this up, Steve. That's beautiful. Your grandma calls him that because his legs was long as a baby.
Is that really the name of the green beans, though?
I think so,
now
actually.
You're thinking about it. Are you sure it's not like a pasta or something?
What are you talking about?
Del Monte, the brand. You said there's a brand.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It's like the green can with the thing. What kind of pasta is called Del Monte?
Heck, I don't know.
I don't either.
I'm just guessing. I'm here.
What's up, Darren? Darren says, "What's up, fellas? Watch your show every night. Been a Chiefs fan for years. It's a magical time, and you guys, I don't know what that means, but I get it.
We appreciate you, though. Thanks, Darren.
I get you, Darren, and I appreciate you watching the show.
It's so awesome to be a Chiefs fan right now. I mean, we dealt with some years there, man, so we deserve it. We all deserve it, so just soak it up. And talk as much trash as you can while we can.
Yeah, you might as well get the trash talk out now. Okay, Dez says, worries me that Smith only blocked for unathletic Tom Brady who gets the ball out fast. That's not Pat's game. That's kind of what what we're saying.
Right.
So I get OBJ was hated, but you can't just think.
He's not wrong. What he said the other day was not wrong.
Right.
Like, I don't care if you hate him or not. What he said was not wrong. Joe Burrow, he's not as quick to get the ball out as Tom Brady, but he's close. Obviously, he's more mobile than Tom Brady. But, I mean, OBJ, like I was saying earlier, he's a guy that you go around, you don't go through him. He's a big dude. You're not going to go through him. You have to go through him if the quarterback steps up into the pocket. But when your quarterback doesn't do that, when he takes, an 8-step drop and then runs around in circles, that becomes difficult for a guy like OBJ. And I hope it's not difficult for Donovan Smith.
Hey, Brian Parrott. Brian Parrott made a good point here. Brian Parrott makes good points all the time, but I just want to give him some whatever. I don't know. He said with Pat's 10-yard drop, bull rush should be useless. Wasn't that OBJ's weak spot? Yeah, he kind of didn't hold up against bull rush. Donovan should only have to shut down the speed rush or the speed rush, right?
I feel like OBJ was fine with the bull rush.
I think he's saying that. I think he's saying the bull rush should be useless. Oh, no. I don't know what he's trying to say. Here's the way I thought he was trying to say. I thought he was trying to say that now if OBJ couldn't stop the speed rushers, and that's all Donovan Smith basically got to do, stop the speed rusher, and he's better.
OBJ's hurting my head right now. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Let's not stop talking about OBJ. It is what it is. Let's get on to the rest of our team here. So we picked all the offense.
The defense.
Let's get on to the defense.
Top 5 projected defense, baby.
Here's what I'm going to do. We don't have graphics to show you guys because we didn't get them done in time. Sorry.
Just read them off, man. It's fine.
I will.
People can hear.
So here we go. DT, I'm going to take we're going to take I think we're only going to take 3 defensive tackles. Last year we took 4. I would take 4. I would take Turk Wharton, but we're going to say Turk Wharton starts the season on the IR, and so we only take 3. And I'm going to take Chris Jones, our rookie Keandre Colburn, and Derek Nnadi. I don't think there's another defensive tackle, Steve, that warrants making this roster right now. I just don't. I don't see. I think there was 2 more.
We're pretty thin there, to be honest.
Well, I think there was 2 more that I was considering.
Well, you also have to consider how Spags runs the defense.
Right. They got Danny Shelton, and like I said, I don't think he gets a roster spot.
Right, but I mean, you have to understand a lot of these edge rushers are going to be playing inside quite a bit.
Yes, and that's why. So they've also got Matt Dickerson in there. They've got Phil Hoskins in right now. And Turk Wharton and Chris Williams. There's one other one. Daniel Wise, I think, from Kansas is in there. I just don't see any of these guys making the team, let's be honest. They're camp bodies. Turk Wharton would be the 4th, but I think Turk Wharton's going to start the season on IR. Did we have a linebacker that did that last year? We all thought he was going to make the team. No, it was Blake Bell. Remember, they didn't call Blake Bell a 4th or something like that because they did IR or something. It was something weird, and you had to.
They did something weird, yeah.
They had to cut somebody from the linebacker core or something. It was something odd. But I'm going to do that again this year. I think Turk Wharton. And then I'll go ahead and do the defensive ends as well. So I think we take 3. I've got Keandre Colburn, Chris Jones, obviously, and Derek Nnadi. When it comes to defensive ends, George Karlaftis is making it, hands down. Charles Omenihu is hands down. Felix Anudike-Uzomah will be on the team. Mike Danna, I think, is a lock. That's 4. I think we take 2 more here. I'll have to check and see what we took last year. I think we took 6 defensive ends last year. We did. We took Clark, Karlaftis, Dunlap, Mike Danna, Joshua Kando, and Malik Herring. Malik Herring and Joshua Kando, I don't think either one of them makes the team this year.
Get him out of here.
I wouldn't. Now, look, the Chiefs may take Malik Herring if he has another good offseason. He made it last year. He can make it again this year. But I think where I'm going to sit right now is I'm going to give those last 2 spots to B.J. Thompson. I'm going to go ahead and give it to B.J. Thompson. And I'm going to say we re-sign back Carlos Dunlap and we put him on the roster. If Dunlap does not re-sign with this team, I'll give it to Malik Herring, maybe. So it's between Malik Herring and Carlos Dunlap. That's what I'll say. If you guys agree, disagree, let us know. Is there somebody we forgot? I don't think I forgot anybody. I think that's a solid defensive line. Steve, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, it sounds pretty good to me, man. Chris Wright snuck in here with a 5 gifted. What's going on, my man? Good to see you.
Chris.
Appreciate the 5 gifted.
Make sure you guys have
make sure you guys have your the gifts accepted or whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you got to turn those gifts on. Another great YouTube feature. Who knows?
No, I think the defensive line, I think that's pretty good, man. I do like it. And like I was saying, you don't have to have a big bunch of defensive tackles when you have so many guys that can kick inside. And Spags likes to do that. I mean, sometimes you're going to see, we saw it last year and the year before that. You're going to see Chris Jones kick to the outside, and you're going to see all kinds of different looks. I mean, that's just what Spags does. He keeps everybody on their toes. And Spags has been known to run 4 defensive ends just right on the front 4. So, I mean, it happens. So I don't think that they have to have anybody other than who you said. So I'm going to agree with it.
Right. Chris's 5 gifted went to Reach, Julia Gulia, Orion Guided, Kenneth Cadwell. I can't read it. It's really small. And then Ozark Hillbilly. That's the 5. So thanks, Chris. We appreciate you, man. Chris is always helping the channel grow. Be sure and thank Christopher.
A little ketchup in the chat.
Put a little ketchup in the chat for Chris. Chris, he's always dropping bombs. He's dropping gifteds.
And knowledge.
If he played football, he would not drop passes. I know he wouldn't do that. He'd be putting up TDs, baby. Eric says, is the first preseason game August 3rd? That's only 4 weeks. Yeah, I don't know the exact date, but I do know that there's only 3 preseason games now. And they actually wrap camp up after the first preseason game. Like, it's pretty weird this year. Like, usually we go to camp late and watch a preseason game. This year, I want to say after the Saints preseason game, I think that's the first one, they're done with camp. It's weird. Like, they're just not doing it anymore for the last 2 games. So,
well, it's different. Yeah. There's only 3 games now, and they switched some things up. So, it is what it is.
Right. Gary says, Mike and Steve, do you think the Chiefs try to sign Sneed or let him go next year? It's on Sneed. Like, it's really on Sneed. If Sneed wants to be a high-paid corner, if he wants to make a lot of money.
Sneed needs to be a high-paid corner. Sneed has to go do that. It's his first contract outside of his rookie contract. He's got to take the best one given to him. You can't be mad at the guy for that. Travarius Ward did the same thing. We are not going to pay L'Jarius Sneed. I will almost guarantee you guys that. I know you guys love him, and I like him too. But I just do not see the value in paying L'Jarius Sneed a big bunch of money over a lot of years when we have such a deep cornerback room, with a lot of young talent.
Yeah, I get that. Let me bring this up really quick.
I mean, what's the argument for it? I mean, that's my thing. Like, if you're Brett Veach, like, why do I need to sign L'Jarius Sneed to a big deal? Well, like, what's holding you up from moving on to, Joshua Williams and what are we watching here?
We're watching some lady. Okay, here it is. Where's she going? Man, why does Chiefs Water gotta have so many crappy things on their articles?
They're trying to make a living, man. They're trying to make a living with
bro.
space.
I wish this lady would shut up. I'm trying to get to the L'Jarius Sneed article. Forget it. You want to know what? Chiefs Wire, this is what you get. Chiefs Wire's out. So here we are. They said basically what they were trying to say before they popped up 35 Asian ladies trying to sell me tooth whitening stuff or whatever she was doing. They're saying that L'Jarius Sneed is the next priority after Chris Jones and Patrick Mahomes. And they said that they think they're going to sign him. That's basically, I think, what the thing said.
Why would he be?
I just don't get it. I don't see how you're going to pay L'Jarius. I get L'Jarius Sneed is good.
Somebody's
he
got to
overperformed.
Somebody's got to convince me because I just do not see it, man. I mean, why would you not? I mean, you're still looking at, Trent McDuffie Joshua Williams, Jalen Watson, Shamari Connor. There's so many guys that could, I don't understand. Nick Jones. I mean, the list goes on. There's all kinds of guys. Nazi Johnson was looking at playing cornerback some. I just don't see the point, man. There's a lot of other places that money could go to besides a corner. Like, we've never paid the corners. We've talked about that. We just don't.
Morgan says the first preseason game's actually August 11th in New Orleans. I knew it was New Orleans.
14th.
Didn't know the date. So it's the 14th. I'll be there. Already got my tickets. I went to New Orleans one time. Steve, it was fun, man. I had a good time. I went down there to Bourbon Street. Had a good time.
Did you get your car shot at like L'Jarius Sneed?
I didn't. I mean, it is what it is.
That's good.
I didn't. They did charge me about $47 to park near Bourbon Street. Don't do that. But, yeah, fun time. I like New Orleans. It's a cool place, man. They bury their dead above ground, Steve. How creepy. You got to walk in tombs. There's vampires running around. It's insane. But they do have pretty good food. And I almost got attacked by a snake. Almost broke my back trying to.
Trip.
Okay, look, it was a horrible trip. A vampire got me, and a snake got me. Okay, no, I like New Orleans. It was fun. That'd be a fun game to go watch. So I hope you have a good time there, Morgan. Let's see. Let's just move on. Let's move on to our list. We just named all the. I'll give you a quick rundown of who we've got on defense so far. So it's Chris Jones, Colburn, and Nnadi. That's 3 DTs. We took in Karlaftis, Omenihu, Mike Danna, Felix Anudike, B.J. Thompson, and we put Carlos Dunlap on the roster. I think Carlos Dunlap's still going to get re-signed. If not, they may take Malik Herring. So
if he doesn't decide to retire, I think he's definitely going to get re-signed.
Right. So
team-friendly deal.
Yeah. So we're going to just project Dunlap. Let's get to the linebackers. Last year, Steve, they took 4 linebackers. That's all they took. They took Bolton, Gay, Chenal, and Darius Harris last year. Elijah Lee was projected to make the team last year, if you don't remember. He was like a camp standout.
Everybody was talking about him. Yeah.
Right, and he didn't make it. This year, I'm going to take 4. We've got Nick Bolton, Willie Gay, Leo Chenal, and Darius Harris is not on the team. We're going to take Drew Tranquill. I think that's a solid 4 core of linebackers. And I honestly think, for example, if Carlos Dunlap does not come back, and Malik Herring's right there at the end, and there could be somebody like an Isaiah Moore or a Jack Cochran or Cam Jones out of Indiana, you might see a 5th linebacker there if they can get in and play some good special teams. So linebackers deep.
Yeah, I think so, but I think those 4 are it. And I think it's a very good linebacker core, and they've been getting some love from Sports Illustrated, and I think Daniel Jeremiah also ranked them up there pretty high. Yeah, man, I think it's good. Nothing to argue about here.
Right. I think so too. I think that's what we'll do. I'm just going to go ahead. We'll just keep going. I'm having a good time just calling these names out. Let's go to corner. Last year, they took 6 corners. I have them taken this year. We have them taken, Steve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have them taking 6. So, see, spot on here. Spot on. I don't know if they're going to do the exact same, but, I mean, we're right there. So, we got L'Jarius Sneed, obviously. Trent McDuffie, Josh Williams, Jalen Watson are all locks. That's the top 4. I got them taking 2 more. I have them taking Shamari Connor. I have him listed him as a DB. He's listed as a DB, so he could play safety, could play corner. I think they're just going to let him play the DB role, corner. They're going to have him. I think he'll be on the corner position. That leaves one final corner slot. Echo Boy Doe could be really good right there. If he made the team, it wouldn't surprise me. You also have Najee Johnson that could step in and do the DB role. He could be there as well. But I think proven so far, and he's going to have to prove me wrong here, but he's come in and he's looked like a hell of a player. I'm going to give that last one to Nick Jones, man. I think Nick Jones makes the last one. That kid looks like a ball hawk, and he looks like he could be the real deal.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. No arguments for me on that. I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head with this defense so far. So let's go ahead and just see what we've done with the safeties.
Yep, let's get the safeties out of the way. Last year they took 4. They had Thornhill, Reid, Brian Cook, and Deion Bush, I believe. This year, I've only got them taken – I've actually got them taking 4. I've got them taking 4. We got them taking Justyn Reid, obviously, Brian Cook, obviously, and I think they're going to go ahead and take Mike Edwards. I think Deon Bush doesn't make the team this year. Deon Bush is 30. He's got a chance to make it, Steve, but I don't think he makes it. I think they'll give it to Najee Johnson. I think they'll let Najee get the last slot, and I think Najee gets the last slot. He gets the 53. That's actually only 50, but of course you've got Tommy Townsend, James Winchester, and Harrison Butker. They got to make the team. So that's going to give us the 53. It would come down. You're looking like your last few slots are coming down to, and tell me if I'm wrong, the last few slots are going to be Najee Johnson, Nick Jones, the Carlos Dunlap, Malik Herring role right there. So if Carlos Dunlap comes back, it'll be between B.J. Thompson, Malik Herring. And then you probably go to maybe Blake Bell, Jody Fortson, maybe if they do the four, which I don't. Ross. Yeah, and then you come down to Justin Ross, Justin Watson. That's going to be your guys battling, and then maybe Deneric Prince, depending, if they want to take 3 running backs or whatever. But there's your last few. So if you just say you get in a position here, let's say you get in a position where we need to take one more defender, and it's coming down to you got to take 2. You got 2 spots available. You got 3, and you have Najee Johnson, you have Nick Jones, and you have you have B.J. Thompson. Out of those 3, which 2 of those would you take? If you had to cut one of those 3, which one would you cut?
I think it depends on the battle with the DBs. I think it just depends. Do you want to take Najee Johnson or want to take Nick Jones? I think
Najee Johnson and Nick Jones are firmly in a battle. You can throw a lot of guys in with them. Echo Boy-Doe. You've got Reese, the kid that they signed from Purdue as the UDFA. He's pretty good. You've also got Tremaine. What's his name? Truman, the defensive end. Truman Jones out of Harvard. He's not bad either. I just think Kando's gone. I think Kando's out. And to be honest, I think Malik Herring's probably done here too. I like Malik Herring, and I wish he would have come on, but he just hasn't proven anything. Again, he could come out and just tear it up. Maybe this is his breakthrough year. He did make the roster last year. But do you take Malik Herring over, would you cut B.J. Thompson after trading up for him in, the 5th round? And
no.
I don't see him doing that. I don't.
No.
And a lot of people will say, well, they cut a safety they drafted from Notre Dame in the 3rd round one year. Okay, well, that was an anomaly, kind of.
I'll tell you happen. What, it's funny because I've been saying that I'm excited to see how all this plays out because there's some good position battles this year. But, pre-camp 53-man roster prediction, I feel more confident about this one than I did last year.
Dude, this is a good roster. Trying to cut these guys, this is a good team.
Well, that's the thing, though. I feel like who we picked, though, I almost feel like it might not change even after camp. I don't know. There's, the few guys that you've brought up, the wide receiver room, do they take 7? That's a question.
That's your question.
And then, of course, like you said, Nick Jones, Najee Johnson, something like that. But otherwise, I feel like it's pretty solid. And then, of course, if Carlos Dunlap does decide to play another year. So, yeah, there's some questions there, and we'll know more about it as camp goes on and we see things play out. But I'm pretty happy with it right now.
What's up, Robin? Najee Johnson was named Tobe as his number 1 guy. Yeah, he said he was the best gunner. Steve actually said that he don't think that's enough to guarantee his roster spot because gunners, anybody can pick. I don't want to say anybody can play a gunner, but a gunner, if you were hey, we're going to cut a defensive end, a promising DE, or we can have this gunner out here, I think you would take the promising defensive end. But I do think Najee played so good there at the end of the year, and he contributed on special teams a lot. He was really good. He was integral in some of the special teams plays when it come to the Broncos games late in the year and different things. And I think Najee is he did what he had to do last year. He kept his head down. He worked hard. He played on the practice squad a lot. He was called on when he was needed. I don't see why he shouldn't be able to make the team this year. But I will say he's at the end. He's at the butt end of the 53. It is what it is. Can Najee even beat out Deon Bush? We're saying I would give it to youth. I think it's a youth movement. I think Deon Bush, if Deon Bush makes the roster this year, he's gone next year for sure, probably. So will they let him play? Possibly. Maybe they keep Deon Bush. Maybe they don't think Najee can maybe Nick Jones even. Maybe they're like, hey, Nick Jones maybe he needs to do what Najee did last year. That's a possibility too.
Right.
But Nick Jones to me, Steve, though, he looks like a flat-out stud, dude. Like, the way he's been playing. And, again, this is no pads. They're just playing 7-on-7, 11-on-11, things like that.
I'm excited to see what he can do. So, yeah, pretty solid. Iron Price, like button confirmed, firm handshakes. Appreciate you. If y'all don't care, go hit that like button, just like Iron Price there. Richie, what's going on, Richie? He says, we'll pick up a surprise cut from another team. That's a possibility. Sometimes that does happen. So, like we said, we'll have to see how things play out. With a couple of different things. Julia Gulia says we went from being thin at cornerback to absolutely stacked, and Veach we trust. He literally took one draft and flipped the script on that. And you know what? He did it at the same time, like the year before, he did it with the offensive line. So, I mean, when Veach gets like pigeonholed on something, he's going to take care of business. So you got to love that about the guy for sure. Lego says thoughts on week 6, 7, 8, all against division rivals back to back to back. Glue Factory, Chargers, Glue Factory. Chargers always play us tough. And the Donkeys do as well. I mean, I'm not going to lie. They do. They almost beat us with freaking Drew Lock,
Right.
So it's like, division games you just never really know. I have all the confidence in the world that we can sweep the division again, but you just never really know how things are going to play out. I'm not worried about it being back-to-back-to-back divisional games, just because I think the Chiefs are so much better than these other two teams. So, I mean, as long as the Chiefs are playing at the best of their ability, I'm not too worried about them playing anybody. I say line them all up. Like, I think the Chiefs literally have a roster this year. It should not matter. Just go out, play, execute, and I think they'll win games. Like, end of the story.
The Chargers, I'm kind of with Tom Hood. The Chargers play us tough, and then they always find a way to charge her. But at the same time, I will say...
Throw the ball to Jalen Watson on the goal line.
But look, Justin Herbert is a good quarterback. I mean, he's not like, mind-blowing. Like,
he's not what they hype him up to be.
But he's pretty good. And then, dude, they just drafted Quentin Johnston. That kid's going to be pretty good, too. They're already talking about how he looks really good. They had a stacked room anyway. They had Josh Palmer. They drafted out of Tennessee just a few years ago, and Keenan Allen's there, and Mike Williams, and they're gonna be good. If they was to beat us once, it's not gonna surprise me. If they lucked out and beat us twice, to be honest, it probably wouldn't surprise me.
They normally almost get our butts at Arrowhead if they don't. So
yeah, they play us so well.
Be looking out for.
And it's not the end of the world if they beat us once or twice either. If the Broncos beat us once, it wouldn't surprise me. I do think that they're due to win one. My God, they haven't won one since 2015? They haven't won one since Obama was president. Like, what are you talking about? Like, they're due one.
Long time.
Like, they're due one. Even the sun shines on a dog's ass every once in a while. So it would not surprise me. Are we better than all of them? Yeah. We just proved it. This roster is better. This roster right now, before we go into camp, before we see anybody go light it up in camp, before we see anybody get the hype train going, before we see anything, before we maybe make a move to get a D-hop or a camp casualty that we bring in and solidify some other position, this team's better than last year's team looking at it. In my opinion, this team's better than last year's 53. I don't see anybody on last year's 53 when I was going through it that looked as good as this one.
Right. Wayne with the 99. We appreciate you, Wayne. Thanks for the support, bud.
Thanks, Wayne. Appreciate you, brother. I
Chris
can't see what the sticker is. What's the sticker? Did you see what the sticker was? I think the sticker was like is it a smiley or something?
It's just, it doesn't have a face. It has some eyes. It doesn't have a mouth.
Okay, YouTube.
Chris Bryant says September 2015 was the last time the Broncos won a game against us.
That's bad, man.
Long time ago. Long ago. It's crazy that think about this for a second, Mike. Out of 7 children in my household, only 3 of them have ever been alive during... 3. That's it. It's insane.
That's what I said. There's kids in Colorado that don't even know that beating the Chiefs is a thing. Like they don't even think it happened.
They don't know that's possible.
They're just like, Dad, do we have to take 2 losses every year? Yeah, you do. Welcome. Hey, welcome to the show. Wait, what's Will Ferrell say? Welcome to the show. Oh,
Stephen James with the 10 bomb. Appreciate you, brother. This is a great show, fellas. God bless crew ACU. Let's go. Man, we appreciate you. Thanks for the support. Always looking out.
Steven's the man. Steven's the man. I still appreciate it. Steven sent me some video of the draft going up in KC.
When
he's
they're
hooked us
doing
up.
the construction.
He's hooked us up with some Eagles tears. I got clobbered, but it wasn't Steven's fault. It was the stupid post office. I drank it anyway. It's okay. But yeah, man, Steven, he's an OG. He's the man. That's just the way it is. I think tonight's show's been productive. You know, Steve, I'll tell you, I like doing the 53-man roster projection. At first, we were like, what should we do tonight? What do you think Chiefs Kingdom wants to talk about? And then we said, maybe D-Hop? No, we never even mentioned D-Hop. Just so you guys know, we didn't even mention D-Hop. But we thought, why not talk about maybe a possible 53-man crazy roster projection? And my God, it's so early. It just now turned, what is today? July 1st? I don't even know. Yeah, July 1st. We're doing a roster projection on July 1st. Look at little Mahomes there.
I know. I just found this. I guess Dominic was carrying it around down here.
Is that the one I got him for his birthday that time? He said, that's Patrick.
Yeah, that's it.
That's beautiful, man.
Hey, well, you know what, Dom? You left it down here. It has now been claimed by your daddy, and it's on my desk.
Ooh. Oh, come on now. Stealing toys from the child. I like it.
It's a good one.
But yeah, man, we wanted to do the 53-man projection. I think, Steve, we did a pretty good job with it, to be honest. Like you said, I don't see how it changes too much.
I know I've been wanting to see these position battles. I've been talking about it all offseason. I can't wait to see how it shakes out. But when I look at it, the 53 that we laid out there, you know, like I said, it depends on Carlos Dunlap if he wants to play another year. It depends on a couple of little things, but I feel like it's pretty solid. Like, I don't see it changing a whole lot. We'll see when Camp gets here. You never know. There could be some surprises, but I don't know, man. I feel pretty confident about it. And I'm, like you said, I think this team, all in all, from top to bottom, is better than even last year's team. So it is what it is.
I agree. Goriala Biz. I hope I'm saying that right. Yo, guys, big fan of our Chiefs and your channel. Appreciate you. Just as I commented to @Daniel Harms, I'm just happy that we're stacking up in oppositions. We are super stacked. Like, we really are. I think.
Yeah, that's nice.
Dude, if you look at, like Steve said, offensive line was pretty bad that year. I mean, we were decimated by injuries, and we got beat by the Bucs in the Super Bowl. And Brett Veach took it personally. He went out.
Shouldn't have lost that game either, you know?
And then he goes out and he rebuilds it. And we're young and we're good. Again, I will say this. The offensive line The offensive line didn't pan out as much as he thought it was going to, because he went after OBJ and all that, and I think that backfired on him a little bit. Again, he decided to do the same crap with Jawan Taylor. And then I think he said, hey, we'll go to the draft. And then he said, we didn't get the guy we wanted. Let's go ahead and bring it a little better.
I did think that was a bit of a miss there. I'm going to have to say. I think that things went awry for Mr. Brett Veach this offseason, but I think he recovered pretty well. I don't think he had any plans of having Donovan Smith on his team. I think they would have signed him earlier. I think when they got to the draft night, I think their man got taken. I honestly think that Anton Harrison was the target in that first round. I think Dougie P swooped in and took it. Didn't he go to Jacksonville?
Yeah, I think so. Brian Parrott, I'm going to give Brian Parrott a little credit. I tuned in to Lance. I want to say last Saturday maybe.
To the
Spoken. They were doing like a little live thing, and Brian Parrott actually asked them, do you think Harrison was plan A, and that's why they went ahead and signed whatever? He insinuated that. I was a little put off that neither one of them knew who in the world Harrison was. I have no idea. They just dropped,
really?
They didn't know who Anton Harrison was. They were like, "Who's Anton?" Like they didn't. Well, he didn't write Anton Harrison. He wrote Harrison, but they didn't know who Harrison. Like that didn't ring a bell, I guess, to him what he was talking about.
That's odd.
I knew instantly. I was like, he's talking about Anton Harrison. Brian Parrott knows what's up. But I agree. I think that they were looking to get Anton Harrison possibly as that left tackle, and that's why they hadn't looked the rest of the offseason. And and when they couldn't get him. Again, not Felix is a bad player.
Felix was I think Felix was the next one on their board. That's all there was to it. So, I mean, it is what it is, but I do think that's what happened. Chris Wright says 8 times this season the Chiefs will be the only game on TV. They're the show right now, baby. Like, that's what all eyes on them. That
Hey.
it just is. I mean, they even had them playing golf out there, guys, and no telling how many viewers watch that just to get a glimpse of those winners there.
They love they love to hate, but they love watching us. It's that
Absolutely,
simple.
man. Javier with the 10 bomb. We appreciate you, Javier.
Javier.
Thanks for the support, my man.
Javier sports everywhere, by the way. He's on Facebook. He's on Instagram. He's everywhere. So be like
Doing the
Javier.
Lord's work.
Be like Javier. If you're on Facebook, go find us at All Chiefed Up. We're on there. Go click it. We got 2 people right now that liked from Facebook. Our grand record was like 6.
Yeah, we don't really do a whole lot on Facebook, but it's there. We're just kind of letting it build organically over there. We don't really try to do anything with it.
Same with Instagram. We'll post every once in a while,
but when we go live, I'll throw it on there. That way, if you're on Facebook and you're gonna cross it, good for you. You get to see these 2 beautiful men talk about the Chiefs football.
Right. David Howe said, "Here's the deal. Veach rebuilt the O-line 2 years ago. Yes. He rebuilt the D backfield last year. Yes. Question, can he do it again with the D-line? I think he did that this year, kind of. Did he not? I mean, don't you feel like he kind of – I mean, look, taking George Karlaftis last year.
He started last year, yeah.
He started last year with George, and I think George Karlaftis falling to the Chiefs was a gift. I know RGR didn't like him. I know they didn't like him, but I had George Karlaftis as my 3rd-ranked defensive end. It's that simple. He might not have been the fastest. He might not have been the twitchiest. He might not have been everything you look for as an elite defensive end. But you know what he had? He had a high floor. He had a good work ethic. He had a high motor, and he's a good person. And to me, that was worth a first-round pick. I don't want a first-round pick that I'm going to be worried if you're going to go out and do something stupid or not. I want a first-round pick that I know is going to show up, watch film, work hard, and get it together. And that's what George Karlaftis is. George Karlaftis fits Kansas City. I love the pick. And then this year, Felix is the same way, man. Felix is a good kid. They're going to be good. And then going and signing Charles Omenihu, I thought that was a great signing too, Steve. I think he's well on the way drafting B.J. Thompson. That's a little out of the box. You don't see B.J. Thompson's body style in a Spags defense like this, but they took a shot
Felix
with him.
is a little outside of the box too. But, I mean, sometimes you just got to take that's the player that you have on the board that's the best right there. So you go get him. And that's what they did. And I think David Howe's right. I think he's trying to get that totally reinforced as well. And then, of course, they're going to get the extension done with Chris Jones and all that. So I think well on his way, man.
I'm wanting Turk Wharton. Turk Wharton's got to come back from that ACL.
Man, if he could stay healthy, Turk puts up. So, I mean, we'll see how that goes. Hopefully he can come back from it.
Turk may have the season this year that you've seen out of Binky last year, right? Kind of like he finally got to stay healthy a little bit.
He's a much better player.
He is. He's more athletic than Colin Saunders, I think, which is crazy because Colin Saunders is pretty athletic to be that big. But I think Turk Wharton's good. I think Turk Wharton was going to have a good year last year until he got injured. I hated seeing that injury. But if he can come back fine from that injury, Turk Wharton's going to surprise a lot of people this year the same way Colin Saunders did.
Tom Hood says, call me crazy, but I think the Broncos will be our toughest competition this year in the AFC West. I'm not going to call you crazy, Tom, but I am going to respectfully disagree. I think the Broncos, they will get back to being competitive soon with Sean Payton. I do believe that. I don't know if it'll be this year. I mean, he's got to perform a miracle for them to be like really good this year. But
I tell you, I'm agreeing with Tom.
They have some pieces.
I'm going to agree with Tom. I'm going to
tell
you why.
Give us more trouble than the Chargers.
I'm going to tell you why. Chargers always give us trouble.
Right.
But I think the Chargers defense is not as good as the Broncos defense. I think if you're going to rebuild, I think the Broncos have a great defense. I think that Russell Wilson isn't as bad as he played last year. I think he can step it up a notch. They've got a good wide receiver core. Sean Payton cannot be over. You can't sleep on a good coach. That's the same way we say about Andy Reid.
No, I completely agree with that.
Staley sucks. So I think it's between, like you said, I think the Raiders are out. But I'll say this. The Broncos and the Chargers aren't as far apart as you think. So I can argue Chargers, I can argue Broncos. I'd be fine with either, to be honest.
I agree with what you guys are both putting out there. But my thing is I just don't think it can be this year. I'm thinking next year, you're hit the nail on the head. This year, I think Sean Payton has a lot of work to do. But I mean, there are pieces, man. If he could get Russell Wilson to not suck so bad.
I will say though, isn't that just all he has to do? You just got to get Russell Wilson playing better football, and I think they're better.
I'm telling you, as long as he's healthy, Jerry Jeudy is a beast. I still like. A lot of people sleep on that guy. I think he's one of the best route runners in football.
He may hit the 1,000-yard mark this year, Steve.
Yeah, dude. Like he's no joke. So I mean, if they could just get something. So yeah, I'm with you guys, but I'm not. I just don't think it's this year that it comes together for him.
So you think they got to get rid of Russ? Is that what's holding the Broncos back?
Potentially. Like we'll see what happens this year. We'll see if he can get it together. We all know Russ looks so bad.
Wait.
So bad.
Sorry to interrupt, but we have some breaking news. The Royals got to win.
What?
Oh,
no.
The Royals.
Did you see where old dude was saying that they got to get out of the K? We just got to get out of the K. Like,
Shut
that's
up.
why you're losing. That's why you suck, because of the K.
Here's one. When you guys get it together and put a good product on the field, then I'll let you talk about a stadium. But until you can win a game, let's stop the stadium talk. The K is a pretty stadium, man. It's beautiful. When we drive into KC, I look forward to seeing the K. I really do.
Well, they're going to move on from it. It is what it is. But, I mean...
Do you just knock it down and build there?
Or
are you really looking?
That was just a deflection. They're going to put it downtown. They already know what they're doing.
So you got to keep the Chiefs together?
Half of it's going to be on the taxpayers. I'll guarantee you that. It's probably going to be about a $2 billion project, I think, what he projected it at. $1 billion from the ownership, $1 billion from the city. You watch and see.
I'm going to tell y'all right now, Jackson County voters, do not let that happen. Because I'm going to tell you, I live in Jefferson County, Kentucky. Well, I live right next to it, but it affects me. They put in a new bridge that went over the Ohio River. I'm just going to tell you how this works. They paid for that bridge in a year. And they said, but we're going to keep tolls up to pay for the bridge. That bridge got paid for in a year. And they said, we're going to pull the tolls off. It's now been 7 years, I think. And they are raising tolls on that bad boy. It's like $8 to cross the bridge. So if you go to Indiana and back, it's $20.
Right. Like, how long are you going to get tickets for that stadium?
Stop getting taken advantage of. Don't let it happen. The K is fine as it sits. Are they going to then try to move the Chiefs downtown with them?
Yes.
I don't like that. I don't.
Look,
I like where it sits.
Yeah, I do too. I love it. I mean, it's different, right? It's different than every other sports team. You go into a city and normally it's right there, middle of downtown. Kansas City's kind of set apart with that, and it's awesome. It's a cool thing. But I really do think the Royals are making the first move, and I don't think it'll be long that the Chiefs will be looking to do something. Hopefully they just upgrade the heck out of Arrowhead because it's just way too much history.
I'll take that.
But I mean, I'm kind of scared a little bit. I mean, with all the success and all the money that they're bringing in now with Kansas City, they might be looking to put out a big thing like Dallas did, or like Tennessee's getting ready to do. Have a big indoor, like a Superdome, like something crazy.
Look, Kansas City's known for being a loud outdoor stadium. They take pride in it. But would you guys – this would be a good poll question, by the way. I'm kind of curious to see what the ACU crew thinks. If they told you that you had to knock Arrowhead down and move the whole stadium, I'm not for that. Or they told you have to pick one. They have to put a dome on it. It has to be enclosed. Which one would you rather take?
That's right. That's it. That's it right there. Because first of all, with all
there
eyes
it
on
is.
Kansas City, you see Kansas City, they're the most dominant team in football. All the eyes are on Kansas City. Like he said, there's 8 games where they're only 7 games, whatever it was.
Right.
They're the only team on television. Everybody's looking at KC. They just did the draft here in KC. I think they're looking to put a Super Bowl here soon. So I mean, the only way they're going to do that is if there's a lid on it.
Right.
And is that what they're going to do? I don't know. I
Dude,
hope so. I hope they keep it where it's at, and I hope they keep Arrowhead. I hope they just upgrade the crap out of it. But I don't know, man. It's a little sketchy.
Here's my thing.
It's a little scary to think about.
Can you build a dome on that bad boy in one off season? Yeah. I don't know if you can do that. That's a big undertaking.
Later, Richie. Have a good night, bud. Thanks
Later,
for hanging out.
Yes, Jay, to answer your question, me and Steve have been to several games at Arrowhead. We go at least once a year.
Try to get to
usually twice.
Yeah, we try to get to a couple. So
I'm actually considering buying season tickets. You get 8 home games. We usually go to 1 or 2. I wouldn't be opposed to going to 3 or 4. It really would not bother me. But I thought about if I couldn't go, I could just sell the ticket. I mean, resale prices right now are insane. I could probably pay my mortgage for 10 years on 3 games. So I'm thinking about just getting season tickets, to be honest. That way I get first dibs at the playoff tickets too. So I'm actually considering that. I'm trying to talk Steve into doing it with me.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I don't have a mortgage. I have a rent, and everyone knows what rent is like these days. So I would have to have. I'd be.
That's my thing, though. I think you could sell, 6 games out of the 8, and you'd pay your rent for like 2 years.
You'd be surprised, guys. Cost of living where we live at in Kentucky is much, much worse than even right in Kansas City. It's weird.
It's bad, man.
It's
I was just calling that out today. They built. Okay, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Kentucky, but are you guys familiar with Bourbon, like Bardstown area? It's known for bourbon. Okay, the Bardstown area. Ask Steve. The Bardstown area is not very big. It is very small. I don't even know how many people live there. Now. It's a pretty little town, but it is not. It's in the middle of nowhere. Let's be honest. There's not a lot there. They're building these new apartments there, and I just seen it, and I was like, I wonder what they're charging for these things. And an apartment in the middle of, it's 3 miles out of Bardstown, by the way, which is not a big town, so it's in the middle of the woods somewhere. They're charging $1,500 for a 1-bedroom. I could go live in Tampa at the beach for $1,500. It is insane what the cost of living in Kentucky is right now. Like it's not
worse
cheap.
Close to where I'm at, right by Fort Knox. It's way worse here, but I guess because they get all these military people.
They're gouging
money and stuff. Yeah, they gouge the crap out of everybody around here, so it's bad. It's bad. But onward, HD Chiefs fan says, I live in Nashville, Tennessee. I've been a season ticket holder for many years. That's awesome.
To the Chiefs. That's awesome. Hey, if we become ticket, how do you get there? You drive? Because if so, you can drive up towards. We'll meet you. You can just drive us on in.
Mike's gonna ride in your trunk, bro.
I'll ride wherever you got. I don't care. We're just all Chief fans, and I just got to get to KC. One way or the other. If you got a private jet, I'll be down to fly on it too. So, whatever you got there, HD. Dude, Nashville, pretty place. Where do you live at in Nashville? Do you live in the city? You live outside? I love Nashville. Steve mentioned they're getting ready to build a new stadium. They're going to dome that bad boy up. And, dude, I'm telling you, Nashville is booming right now. They'll host the Super Bowl within 10 years.
I guess it was like a little prototype kind of image or whatever. And it's amazing what they're trying to do down there. So, I mean, it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm with Lego. If you have to dome it or demolition Arrowhead, give them the dome. That's what I'm thinking. Don't move Arrowhead. Don't change it. Let's just put a dome on it and be done with it. If that's what if it's like, look, we got to have a new stadium because we need a dome. We want this. Or we're knocking it down and we're building it somewhere else. Just give me the stupid
like
dome.
how do they go about that? Well, because you think they can really get that done in one off season? It's not going to happen.
Okay, but you can do it partial. Do a partial dome. I don't know. Blow it up like a blimp. Didn't they used to have that in Atlanta? It was basically just like an air blimp or something. It was something stupid.
Yep.
I'm a Jay. See, look, he says, yeah, man, season tickets, sell the rest, make your money back in more. They're insane right now. I want to say resale tickets are like $400 for the nosebleeds. It's insane.
Yep, for sure. I don't know. Hopefully that's a future talk, but I used to drink Bardstown. the whole entire town. Just pour it all in one cup.
Yep. Man. Jay also says, yeah, it's crazy. He says the beach for less in some areas. It really is, dude. It's pretty crazy. David House says that a 1-bedroom in Dallas is over $2K right now.
That don't surprise me.
No, it really don't. It's insane. But I bet you Dallas is paying for that stadium. It's not even built in Dallas. It's in Arlington. I read something the other day, and it was like,
so what's going on here?
It's Dallas, but they're like 20 miles out of the city is how far you have to get to their stadium. It's pretty crazy.
Hey, Lego's saying it was an air dome in Atlanta before the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So
that's what I was thinking. And it got hit by a tornado or something, didn't it? Was that the deal? Something crazy happened.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Jay said you just fly in. He said if y'all just fly into KCI, take an Uber, you're there in 15. Yeah, we sometimes got some rooms up by the airport, like North KC, and it's not too far. The airport from I want to say, what is it, Raytown Road? Isn't that where the stadium's located? It's not that far away from KCI.
Hey,
So, yeah.
553 miles from Nashville to KC, easy one-day drive. Yeah, it's not a bad drive even from where we're at. It's not. Like, you literally just, once you get to St. Louis, what is it, I-70?
Right.
Is that
We're
what it
four.
is? That one takes forever, but I mean, it's
Yeah.
not a bad drive.
We're 4 hours from St. Louis. St. Louis is about the midway point, and then it's about 4 hours into KC. So for us, it's about an 8-hour drive. If we stop
David,
a few times, it's about 10.
We're west of Lexington,
A little bit.
by probably about an hour and a half drive over to
We're
Lexington.
right below
from here.
Louisville. Right below
Yeah,
Louisville.
we're in Louisville basically. I'm in Fort Knox. He's in Louisville, so pretty much what's going on there.
Oh,
But
HD,
yeah, it's not a bad drive.
He says he's slightly north of Nashville in the burbs. Okay.
Burbs.
I got you. So you're closer to what's that place we used to stop at, Steve? Every night we go to Nashville. The QT and all that sits right up there on the outside.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're supposed to be building a new hot chicken place up there, I thought. No, a Whataburger. They're putting a Whataburger up there somewhere, but I forget the name of it.
I don't know, man.
Hey, by the way, we like Whataburger, Steve. Did you know that they come out and said Whataburger's not pronounced Whataburger? It's called Waterburger, like water, W-A-T-E-R. Official,
No, it's not.
released by Whataburger. Says it's called
Whataburger.
Waterburger.
They're
never
just
knew.
messing with people. They're just messing with people.
Like the
It's
Kelce
not.
Kelce thing?
Yeah, they're messing with people.
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't even know where they get that from. It don't even make sense.
It
So,
doesn't.
Yeah,
It
if you guys are just jumping in here, we appreciate you being here. Thanks for hanging out with us on this Saturday night. We went over our 53-man roster prediction pre-camp, so hopefully it'll hold up. We'll see how that goes. We'll update it for sure. But thanks for joining us. Make sure to hit that like button, guys. And if you're new, don't be afraid to get in the chat. We got awesome people in the chat, so give us a
What's
shout.
up, Dennis? Dennis
What's
is
up,
in
Dennis?
the house. He says the rookie will learn from Smith at left tackle. Talk about Wanogho Morris, I'm guessing. And, yeah, you're right. I think that's a good thing about Donovan Smith. He's probably not the greatest. Again, he played through some injuries last year, so you got to give him a little time.
Yeah.
But I think it's definitely somebody, like maybe they got him because they seen Wanogho Morris kind of had his style of game, so maybe they do want to let him learn from him. Maybe that's Veach is always playing like chess, man, so maybe he really went and got him because of that. Who knows? I don't put nothing past Brett Veach. That dude is a genius. He's an evil genius. He's like Dr. Evil, Steve. He's like $1 million.
He is Dr. Evil. Yo, yeah. Jay, back to back, baby. Back to back.
Hey, if you saw it in our last video, some guy asked if we could three-peat. We said there's a pretty good.
You know what's strange,
I think
though?
we
I
can
thought about this
three-peat
after the video, though. There is no one that's ever three-peated. Like, I think the way he presented the question, maybe he meant, could the Chiefs be the first
The
ones
first
to
two
it?
do it, I think. Yeah.
But no, he actually said the second. So I don't know what he was talking
Right.
about. But either way, yes, and yes. The Chiefs can do anything right now. They are the top dog, baby.
Did the
They hold it
Patriots?
together.
I don't know if the Patriots were the only team to do it. Has anybody got to the Super Bowl 3 times in a row? Win or lose? Have they been 3 in a row? Was the Patriots 3
I don't
times?
know. I'd have to look at it. Patriots won 3 out of 4, I think.
I think we can do that.
but-
We should have already
Yeah.
been there with
Yeah.
that Bucks game.
Right. Yeah, I think so too. Chris Jones signing. Are you nervous like me, Hefe? No, I'm not. I think they're definitely gonna extend Chris Jones. I think it's just a matter of time. Closer to camp. It'll be like it always is, right around camp. I don't think they're BSing when they say that because that's just kind of how it is, man. So I think he's waiting on Quentin Williams. Quentin Williams still hasn't signed, has he?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it'll be after that. So I'm not worried right now. No.
I'm going to actually find that out, see if there's any update on Quentin Williams.
Right. Jay says, did you guys catch the golf match? Yeah, we did, actually. We talked about live streaming it, but, man, I've had a hell of a week. A lot of stuff going on around here, so we didn't get a chance to live stream it, but I did watch it on my phone a little bit, and it was fun. It was fun to watch. Kelce actually carried Mahomes, and it's funny because what did I tell you, Mike? I said if they actually can beat Steph and Clay, it's going to have to come through Kelce because
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes can't carry Kelce the way he carried Josh Allen last year and still get beat. You know, Kelce's got to do something. Kelce put up, baby. Kelce put up.
Yep.
was good. Those guys are just on a winning streak from hell, aren't they? They just win at everything. Love them.
Yeah, man. You could play them in a game of checkers, and they're probably gonna triple jump you.
Tear that ass up.
Yeah, they will. They're just on one, man. Mahomes is out here beating his daughter and stuff at like Monopoly. I mean, she's too young to play that. What's she playing? Like Shoots and Ladders or something? He's down here shooting and laddering everywhere. He don't even let her win no more. That's how much of a win streak he's on. He's like, got to teach her somehow. Okay, so I found an article on Jets Wire, which is basically Chiefs Wire. Here, I'll bring it up. I swear, if Jets Wire does the same crap and throws up a bunch of people trying to sell me stuff, they better not. I want to bring it up and let y'all read this bad boy with me. PFF says the Jets' last move before training camp should be a Quinnen Williams extension. So they think that this is the last thing on their mind. Like, they're in no hurry to sign Quinnen Williams. Check this one out.
It's the same deal.
Yeah, training camp's almost here. We know the team will report on July 19th. First practice July 20th. So it's going to report. I think the Chiefs are reporting on the 18th. So it's the 18th or 16th. I think it might be the 18th. Rookies and quarterbacks come in on the 18th. So, yeah. But it says, but there's one move out there Jets can do, and it's very obvious this point is reiterated by Brad Spielberger of Pro Football Focus, something they should do, and it's sign Quinnen Williams. But here's the thing that I found cool at the bottom. It says, Williams has watched other defensive tackles get big contracts this season and Spielberg mentions Chris Jones and Christian Wilkins are also coming up. There's still time to get a deal done before training camp begins, and the Jets ideally would like to get this taken care of so it isn't lingering over all season long. The clock is ticking. So the way he said that, Steve, is he's acting like Quinnen Williams might be trying to wait Chris Jones out to see what he gets.
See, that's why this is going to take long. That's why it's going to take a while.
Dude, come on.
This is why it's going to take a while. So, yeah, I wouldn't be nervous, Hefe. No reason to be nervous, man. I just think it's going to take some time. Tom Hood said, how did the Bills lose 3 Super Bowls in a row and find the strength to go to a 4th? They should have quit after 3 straight losses. It's insane that actually happened. And I know probably a load of you guys in the chat were probably cheering for them to win a couple of them because everybody hated Dallas back then. I mean, everybody's sick of Dallas.
They still hate Dallas.
So, man, it's insane, though. That is pretty heartbreaking. I have to say. That's rough.
Yeah. Dude, but the Bills are used to losing. Look at the loser they got now, and they put them on the cover of Madden.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
come on. Basically, if you're just less of a loser than you was in the 90s, they love you in Buffalo. That's basically – Josh Allen couldn't have landed in a better spot. Let's be honest.
Well, the thing about it is they pump up Josh Allen so much like he's the best quarterback they've ever had. Jim Kelly was better. That Buffalo team back then was better than this Buffalo team. Like you have
Thurman Thomas and Bruce Smith, they would have wiped this team.
They were the first team to really utilize a no huddle, and they would just wear teams out through the air, if you remember. I don't even remember who their receivers were. I think it was like Andre Reid.
Don Beebe.
There's a couple others. Yeah, but they were a high flying team, dude. Like
I like how we know everything about those Bills, but we forgot they went to 4 Super Bowls in a row. I'm like, did anybody ever go to 3 in a row? And then I'm like, Don Beebe. Hey man, sometimes you have brain farts. I don't know.
Oh well.
Got to deal with a lot of crap.
Dez says it was reported the holdup with Williams is that the Jets want him to sign a 5-year deal and he wants a 4-year. I have a feeling that's something slightly like what's going to be going on with Chris Jones.
Yeah, I think he wants 4 and Chiefs want to give him 3.
I don't know, man. I think they should just go ahead and give him a 5-year deal. That's what I would go for.
Quinnen?
No, I'm talking about Chris Jones. I would just lock him up, dude.
Make him a lifer. Who cares?
Yeah.
I'd sign Chris Jones for. If Chris Jones commits, I don't see why Chris Jones couldn't be productive. He was 32, 33. I mean,
dude,
would you have to restructure though? Probably. At 33, I don't think you should be making like.
I think that's what he's trying to avoid. I think like his agent and him, it's like, hey, a shorter deal's better because I might actually get paid. You know, because you know how everyone likes to backload all these contracts and then restructure and backload and restructure.
I think
so they never get that big fat payday, but they're going to have to give him the big fat payday at least once to make him a lifer, I would say.
Oh, Chris Wright. He says Steve Tasker and Lofton were some wide receivers there. Dude, I do remember Tasker.
And their defense was decent too. Bruce Smith was a beast off the corner or the edge there.
Bruce Smith was awesome.
Yeah, I mean that team. I can't believe they lost that many in a row. That's nuts.
Right. Bad luck. Every Tribe Coffee. What's up, guys? What's up, brother?
What's going on,
Dude,
my man?
we got to go. This guy, he said he's close to Dunlap's new restaurant. We might have to make a trip over there.
Did he put it in Covington? Is that where he put it at? Because it says it's in Kentucky.
Probably. I looked it up. I'm just going to go find it. Screw it. I'm bringing it up.
I'm doing it right now.
Oh, do it. Bring it up. Then bring up the menu. Come on, every Tribe. We're going to let everybody pick out what we should order. Then we're going to go. And we're going to do a food review live from Carlos Dunlap's. What's it called? Honey? The Honey Hole or something weird?
No idea, dude. Let me look it up. Why can't I find anything about it?
Julia, quit talking about my farts. My brain farts. It's minty.
Smell like cotton candy mans.
Yeah, they do. It smells just like
Well,
this.
Mike, you know what? You go look it up because I can't find anything about it.
Steve, damn it. Okay, give me 1 second. I just closed out my browser thanks to you. Carlos Dunlap Restaurant.
Yeah, we mentioned Thurman Thomas. He was a beast running back.
Thurman Thomas, yes. That boy can play. It's
Andre
called
was
Honey.
badass those days. Yeah, he was.
It's called Honey Uninhibited. Now, what a weird, is it just going to be about,
Check
wait,
this out.
every Tribe's in Louisville? You're right up the road from me, my man. Here it is. Honey. What is, he loves honey a lot, I guess.
Honey's delicious.
Honey Uninhibited. Here we go. So here we go. Well, it's got brunch. It's got everything, it looks like. So
okay.
He's got some deviled eggs, some jalapeno honey cornbread. That's probably awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Will that be as good as Jack Stack's honey cornbread?
No, but I would get it.
Fried green tomatoes. That's a southern thing. Some Cajun catfish bites. Those are probably delicious. Mumbo wings. Wings tossed in mumbo sauce. What is mumbo sauce? Who knows? Why do they got the sweet tooth over here? They got red velvet pancakes.
So far, I'm going with the cornbread for the little appetizer there.
Man, I might want that Cajun catfish. We may have to go with 2 appetizers. It's only $20. I think we can spring for it. We're not going with pancakes. We're just not doing it. We're going to have dinner, so we're going to pass that up. Here we go. The Honey Classic, Steve. The Sweet Chick, a Carolina boneless breaded chicken thigh with French toast with spicy honey and maple syrup. Fried lobster mac and cheese. 4-cheese mac Carolina fried lobster tail. Gullah shrimp and grits, fish and grits. See, it's kind of like I told you the other day. It's kind of like a up classy southern style with a lot of seafood is what I'm seeing on here. They got, a lot of breakfast food here. Here's some mac and cheese. You can get the 4-cheese mac and cheese with some chicken, shrimp, or salmon. I don't know, man. We're going to have to go check it out.
It'd be worth a shot.
We'll have to check it out, every Tribe. We'll just have to let you, you can make the call when we're fighting over what appetizer to get. You can make the call, baby. Every Tribe, where you live at in Louisville, every Tribe. You can just give me the area, not your whole address. I don't want people stalking you.
Don't want people stalking you.
Wait, what's this? What are we talking about Machine Gun Kelly? Oh, Jim Kelly? I was like, what? That's funny. Was that his nickname?
It might have been. Maybe that's where he got the name from. No, he's from Cleveland or something.
He's from Cleveland. Cleveland.
So I saw something I wanted to click on. Go ahead. We'll get this.
Okay, we'll get James. What's up, James? Thanks for being here. He says, do we think the Chiefs wide receiver group is going to be as good as last year's? I don't see why they couldn't. If Sky Moore steps up, I think MVS is going to be better this year. I think Rashee Rice has a better shot of contributing more than Sky Moore did last year even. Yeah, I think we're good. I mean, look, when you're looking to have to cut Justin Ross, pretty good. If you're looking to have to cut Richie James or Justin Watson, I think you're pretty solid, man. If those are your 6s and 7s.
This may be a bit of a hot take, but I think that Sky Moore can play the Juju role better than Juju did.
I think so too. And I'm a big Juju. I was a big Juju fan. We were proponents of him.
Yeah, I mean, Juju's solid. He just can stay healthy, but I mean, Juju don't have the yak ability that Sky Moore has. I mean, I don't know, man. I think he could really flourish this year to be good. But I wanted to touch on this one. Chiefs Fly says, who do you think is the most underrated Chiefs of all time? Players or teams? Just players? players, I guess. I think you'd have to go with, let's see here, underrated.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
There's been a lot.
I don't know, man. I feel like, what's his name? Why is it slipping my mind right now? The receiver that they didn't get in the Hall of Fame for too long. I feel like he's underrated. He didn't get the love he should have got. Otis Taylor. I think
Right.
that was. I don't know, but underrated. I don't really know. I think you'd have to go with. I feel like we look at it through a Chiefs fan's lens, though, so it seems like nobody was really underrated because everybody talks about them all the time. Thinking from national limelight, I don't really know.
If you
I
go
think
back through
Justin
history,
Houston was
though,
a
man.
beast. Like, I don't think people talked about Justin Houston enough back then because of J.J. Watt. But Justin Houston was off the chain for a while.
I think if I had to go back through time, I think Trent Green was one that was kind of like, people don't think about Trent Green, but I think he was a solid quarterback doing what Vermeil wanted to do. Derek Alexander back in the day, man. That wide receiver.
Well, if you go from like a national standpoint, not Chiefs fan standpoint,
Right.
I think Derek Johnson, I think, was very underrated. I don't think he got enough love.
Yeah.
He was a solid player.
Yeah, like I said,
Okay.
do you remember Derek
What about-
Alexander? Back in, was it 2000, I think? The 2000 season. So it was right before Vermeil and everybody kind of took over. He had like a Chiefs single season record or something, like 1,400 receiving yards or something. And you don't never hear about people talking about Derek Anderson. Or Derek Alexander, I mean. I don't know why I said Anderson. So, yeah, there's just certain players throughout history, I guess. But
That's true. So, like when I was reading this, I kind of misread it. The second time that I read it, I was like, wait a second, is he talking about teams? That makes me wonder, is there like, what's the most underrated Chiefs team of all time? What Chiefs team do you think should have won the Super Bowl and didn't do it? Besides the modern, like, obviously we should have beat Tampa Bay and won that Super Bowl. We should have won the Super Bowl the year that D4 was offsides. But like, if you go back beyond that, what Chiefs team do you think just didn't perform, should have really had a shot at the Super Bowl and just got beat?
dude, the team where Lynn Elliott kept missing every field goal, that was a bad one. I think, was that Montana years? Was that the Lynn Elliott saga? I mean, I was a kid then, but I just remember getting to the playoffs or like trying to get to the playoffs. I don't remember which one it was, but Lynn Elliott just missed everything under the sun. That guy's got to be hated.
If I had to pick one,
Dude, the time that the game, was it Vermeil years where we played the Colts and Peyton Manning and neither team punted almost the whole game and we ended up losing that playoff game?
there were some really good teams back then.
That was a good team.
Even more modern, I think. I want to say it was 2016 with Alex Smith. That team was like, I want to say they won 12 or 13 games, and just the playoffs. I want to say they lost in the playoffs to the Steelers on that stupid holding call. Like when they had the 2-point conversion to tie. I could be wrong on the year.
Yeah.
But that team, I thought they were solid. I thought that team was really solid. That was back with Justin Houston, Eric Berry. I mean, we had a beast of a team, and I think they could have got it done. What's this one?
Right. Every Trap says, who will make a bigger impact in 2023, Ross or Deneric Prince? That's a good one because I don't know how much either of them's going to play. I will say Ross from the standpoint I think he could play more. And then at the same time, I don't think Ross is going to play more. So I don't know.
I think Deneric Prince here. Deneric Prince is going to get his hands on the ball.
Yeah, I think
he's going to do kick returns. Man, it really just depends. And then if is there injuries in the running back room, because we all know Clyde's super injury prone. Jarrett McKinnon's been known to be injury prone over his career. So you never know. Deneric Prince could get in there and actually get some time. Like he really could. But Justin Ross could too. He could come out and be what everyone thinks they're hoping he's going to be, and he could earn himself some playing time as well. I don't know. But he's going to face that same thing as Rashee Rice, really, because essentially Justin Ross is going to be a rookie wide receiver. But he has had a whole year to learn the playbook, so maybe Andy would be more open to him getting more time. I don't know.
Right.
Man.
Sorry, I'm looking for notes. Hold up.
Brian Gale says, I agree with you. Steve Scott has the potential to take it to the house, whereas Juju couldn't get Juju could get 20 yards. Juju had a knack for breaking big plays as well, even though he didn't really have. Like we had this argument back in the day when we were like kind of advocates for getting Juju, and there were some people that didn't want him, and they're like, he doesn't have breakaway speed, and it's like, I understand he doesn't have breakaway speed like Tyreek Hill has breakaway speed, but he's when he was in Pittsburgh, man, he was a big play threat. I mean, Juju's had a knack for doing that. And, of course, he went through some injuries and stuff. He's kind of a bit of a different player last year than he had been in the past. And, of course, it's a different offense. But Juju was solid. Juju's reliable. And I think Sky Moore has those same traits. Sky Moore had the best hands in college football his senior year. I don't know, man. I think Sky Moore can step it up a notch.
I seen this one. I wanted to talk about this one. Jay Cruz says, Rice is going to be a game changer for the Chiefs. The kid can play. Have you seen his college tape? And, yeah, man. If you guys followed us, like, we're big draft dudes, especially me. I'm a draft nerd. We noticed Chiefs Kingdom does not like the draft very much. Like, I don't know.
Strange.
We talk about it, and, like, there's a few of you guys that love the draft. A lot of you guys did not like it. I don't know if any of you are here, but – yeah, I was just saying, we got notebooks and notes. This is what I do all the time. But I wanted to pull up my Rashee Rice notes because here they are, so you know I'm not lying. Here's Rashee Rice's name right here. I don't know if that focused. But anyway, dude, listen to these notes, and we're going to see if they come true. Rashee Rice, 6'1", 205, 23. I comped him to Dante Moncrief. You guys remember him? Dante Moncrief played for the Colts.
Yep.
4'5", 140, 128-inch broad jump, 41-inch vert. He's explosive. This is my notes I actually took down for him. Come on. He's a competitor with the ball in his hands. He takes on tackles. So good run after the catch guy. He's a running back with it. That's what I've seen. He shifts gears as a route runner, which means he runs 4.51, but he can shift gears. He can very much stop-start. Good body control with the ball in the air. So when he goes up for jump balls, very good body control. This was what he struggled with, in my opinion. He struggled versus press, and he struggled to separate, which we've talked about that, Steve. We've said he's a jump ball guy. He's a D-hop guy. He's that guy.
Yeah, he relies on it a lot if you watch his tape.
This was another thing. He had inconsistent hands. His drop rate in college was 8.3% career drop rate, which means he will drop 8 out of 100 balls. That don't seem like a lot, but if that's in a third down, fourth down situation, you don't want any drops. So he's got to get that together. And then what I've seen from him, he ran a very simple route tree. At SMU, they did not allow him to run lots of routes. It was basically like, hey, run an in route, run a go route, get open. We're just going to throw you the ball. That was it. I did note that he had 19 missed tackles, so he forced 19 missed tackles. So he's great with it. He's like a running back with the ball in his hand. But listen to this. A round 3 guy is what I said. I predict him round 3, early round 3. He went, round 2, and we traded up to get him. The side note here, Steve, though. Round 3 guy with a side note at the bottom could go up into round 2 if a team falls in love with his size and athletic ability. Yeah, that happened. The Chiefs, they were the team that fell in love with his size and athletic ability. So,
right.
Dude, so many notes, so many players, but yes, dude, we watched so much Rashee Rice stuff. I think that's cool. I like to keep my notes and stuff because at the end of the season, I like to go back and be like, Mike, did your eyes lie to you on what you've seen? And then I let that get me better next year on analyzing players and evaluating things. But, yeah, I thought that was cool that I wrote that about Rashee Rice, and then it actually happened. Like the Chiefs were the team that fell in love with him and come up and got him in the second round.
Yeah, but are your eyes lying to you, or did they overachieve?
What do you mean?
Like if they go off the chain and like, was it that you didn't?
Oh, if they overachieve? No, I think lots of players can overachieve from what you see in college because I think college is so much different. Like I said, Andy's going to ask him to do a lot of different things than SMU did. So even if he underperforms, that's not saying he's not a good athletic kid. He's very athletic, but Andy's not going to ask him to do what SMU did. He was SMU's playmaker. They just chucked it down there. You know, the quarterback just chucked it. He said, F it, Rasheed's down there somewhere. That's all he said. He was Josh Allen. It was Josh Allen type stuff. You're not going to get that with Mahomes. Now, hey, if Mahomes wants to try it out, Rashee Rice is used to it, so maybe they will start doing it. Who knows?
Right, but, it's a big leap from college to NFL. So, like I was saying before when we talked about Rashee Rice, it might be a fault of his to want to rely on that jump ball too much because it's a different ball game now. Like you're
Right.
not just going to be, it's a whole different group, a whole different level of athletes. I mean, you're not just going to go out there and jump ball all over them like you think you're going to do.
Steve, do you like grits? Says Gary Holland.
No, I don't. I'm not. I'm
I
a
don't
gravy
either.
guy.
I'm not a grits fan. I like oatmeal.
Yeah.
Is that the same thing? Wait,
yeah.
we're gonna get our
No.
Southern card revoked, Steve, by not liking grits. That's like a Southern thing, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I just don't like grits. Maybe I'm not having them right. Maybe I'm just not. If anybody can cook a good grit, let me know. I've never had them where I've liked them, so yeah, I don't like the grits. Tom Hood said Rasheed Rice is good, but his weakness is getting separation. That's what I seen too, Tom. Like I said, Tom's pretty football knowledgeable. Tom has some good combos with us every once in a while, and he knows his stuff pretty well.
What's up, Greg? He says Rice will not get the reps at Sky's year. I honestly agree with that. I don't think Rice is going to get as many reps as people are thinking because we kind of put that over under at 500 yards, and a lot of people were taking the over. Like the majority of people were taking the over, and I don't think so. I just don't know. We'll see. I think he'll get some work in the red zone because he's a jump ball guy. But I honestly think, man, for the most part, unless they do something and go out and get a D-hop, I think the guys that you're going to see getting the ball thrown to them the most, obviously Travis Kelce's going to get the most targets, but then it's just going to be MVS and Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore. I think that's going to be the majority of it. You'll see guys get worked in, like Rasheed Rice and Richie James or whoever, but I think that's the majority of it right there, man, as long as they stay healthy.
I agree. Brian Grail says, don't forget Eric Hicks was underrated. Took over for Neil Smith. I almost said Eric Hicks. A lot of people didn't like Eric Hicks, if I remember correctly. I actually think Pop, Steve, I don't know if he liked Eric Hicks very much. He always used to cry about him all the time. He'd be like, Eric Hicks. I just remember him like raging. I could be wrong. He's probably going to kick my butt. He'll be like, I liked Eric Hicks.
Every tribe asks for like chicken and waffles. Yes, I actually do like chicken and waffles. So.
Chicken waffles is good. I mean, anytime you can salty sweet it up. Jay
Mike.
Cruz, yes. I was just getting ready to say.
Go that. Mike used to eat this crap all the time, dude.
Pops used to make this for me all the time. He would make it.
I was the one that wouldn't eat it. I was like, I'm good.
Dude, it's awesome. But the way Pops made it, tons of sugar, tons of butter in it, man. It was like candy. Like, it was so good. You put a little sugar in oatmeal. You put a little sugar, a little butter in oatmeal. I did the same thing with cream of wheat. It was awesome.
You're in the South. You put sugar in everything. Pinky Solos. I think that's what that says. Welcome. It says Isaiah Pacheco in top 5 in rushing. No. Not for the league.
But he could be. He
could
should be.
Yes.
Will they give him enough?
One thing. Will he know? That's No, thanks for clearing that up because I do think Isaiah Pacheco is good enough to be that kind of a guy, but just I don't see it in our offense.
Every tribe says as long as you like KC barbecue, you're good. I live for KC barbecue. Dude, I'm telling you, there's nothing like it. That is the one. I was telling Steve one time, like everybody always. You have cities and you have states that are known for things, like Memphis barbecue, Chicago deep dish, New York style pizza, New York hot dogs even. Kansas City is one of the only places that lives up to the barbecue hype, like their hype. They live up to it. I think they deliver. Right. I think Chicago deep dish delivers for me. A lot of people argue. They say they don't like it, but I think it delivers. Like, I think it holds up. I've never had Memphis barbecue. Never had the Carolinas, but I don't think I'd love it because they did that vinegar-based sauce. And I'm not down with the vinegar too much,
gold.
Steve. I don't like the mustard-flavored sauces. There's something about it.
Hey, Reloaded, Jack Stack's where it's at, baby. It just is.
Yeah, we're a big Jack Stack's guy. A lot of people's like, hey, you're not from Kansas City.
It's hard to pick a favorite. But, I mean, Jack Stack's got the sides.
They're so different, though, aren't they?
You can pick like a handful. Slaps is awesome.
Right.
That
like
rules.
Those upper competition style places, Like I get it. If you're there, you're probably liking Gates. You're probably liking I can't even Arthur Bryant.
MC's.
And I like those places. Believe me, those places are amazing. There's a time and a place for it. But man, it's just like those competition style, they know how they could smoke a shoe and it'd melt in your mouth, and I'd eat it probably. So it's like that for me, man. Jay says, you guys had caged chicken. I just went there yesterday, my man.
Yeah, there's one up the road.
Steve, they got Post Malone cups now. You can upgrade for $1 and get a Post Malone collectible cup. I love Posty. A big Post Malone guy.
Canes lives on their sauce, though.
Oh, yeah. It's very mid without the sauce, I've realized. And also, if you don't eat it directly, the chicken doesn't get crunchy anymore, and it gets all soggy and weird. And
I have never had this pizza.
Well, I haven't either. Is that the one that we see all the time driving through St. Louis?
I believe so. Now, we had St. Louis, we went to Pointers. They had like the giant pizza. It was just a little thin crisp thing.
I've still got that pizza box with a dinosaur on it or something like that.
It's freaking huge, dude.
It's ginormous, dude.
We didn't even know if we were going to be able to put it in our tour van. It was that big.
It was monstrous. It was, it was kind of like cracker thin or something. It wasn't bad. Kay Wayne says Arthur Bryant's is the best. Dude, Arthur Bryant's is good. Like, I want to say
really good.
The first time me and Pops ever came, because like I said, we grew up in Kentucky. First time I ever got to go to a Chiefs game was all the way back in 2000 or 2000. I actually take that back. It's 2002. First thing we did when we got into town, it just reeks of barbecue smoke, and we loved it. First thing we did was go to Gates. That was the first. Gates was awesome. And it's like every time we went back, you just started going somewhere new, and then like we tried Arthur Bryant's, and those places are awesome. And then now we've kind of been so much, we've been to almost every one of them. There's a few we still haven't been to, Steve. There's a lot. We haven't got into LC's yet. Every time we go, it's packed out the door. We can't get into it. We didn't get to go to – we've went to Char Bar before. I seen where Daniel Harms said he went to Char Bar the other day for the first time, which is kind of weird.
Where,
but I don't know if Daniel lives in KC, though, does he?
When Tom Grossi did that 30 and 30 thing and came to Arrowhead, that's where he went to eat, was the Char Bar. I thought that was strange.
Trent McDuffie, that's his favorite spot.
Why do people recommend that, though? Like, I'm going to be honest. Like, I mean, obviously the food's decent. It's good. But, I mean, I would never recommend that.
Dude, if Char Bar was sitting in the middle of downtown Louisville, it'd be a hit. But in KC, I feel like it gets overshadowed.
Arthur Bryant's was the first I ever had, actually. It was the first KC barbecue.
Yeah, we took you to Arthur Bryant's, didn't we? Mm-hmm. Zarda's is good, Steven. Speaking of, 79 people in here. We are coming to camp. We said we would. We kind of alluded to that earlier and we stopped. We're going to be at camp on August 15th. It's a Tuesday. August 15th. That's the day we're going to be there. That night, we actually are probably going to get Zarda's to host our I don't want to call it a meet and greet because we're kind of just all going to get together. You can come. You can
leave. Hanging out. It's a hangout.
Yeah. It's a hangout. So they're going to host it for 2 hours, 7 to 9 p.m., but it's limited to 50. There's a 50 capacity. So we didn't want to charge anything, but we have to because they're paying for the room because they just will not seat a bunch of people, and we got to have a head count. So we got to limit it to 50. So there's only 50 tickets. We got to keep a what's it called? Like a count on this because we can't shut down Zarda. That would be rude. Or you can't, you know what I mean? So we got to sell these. So we're going to do $10 tickets. That'll reserve your spot. You can order and eat when you get there. That's cool. You can not eat. You can just come in and talk to us, and you can bail. Does not matter. But it's 2 hours. We're going to have some special guests with us. We're talking to a few other people, and they're going to show up, and you can come hang out, take pictures, talk to us. And because of the $10, like we got to pay Zarda with the $10 for the room. So other than that, though, we're going to give you guys some gifts for coming because we don't want to make you be like, hey, $10, blah, blah, blah. Like, we don't feel like we're worth $10 enough just to say hey to us and have some food with us. So we're going to give you guys a gift. So basically, yeah, we do have to charge $10 to keep a head count because we can't go over Zarda's max. They will, they'll get pissy and they'll shut down and all that stuff. We don't want to make them mad because they're going to be nice enough to host it. So, yeah, $10 will reserve your spot. You can get as many tickets as you want. Bring your family, all ages is fine. We just got a back room. You can order and eat when you get there. You can come in and hang out. You don't have to eat. It's just going to be very chill. We're just going to be there for 2 hours. We're probably going to eat, Steve, right? We love Zarda. So we're going to probably be there stuffing our face. So, but, yeah, we'll take pictures. We'll do whatever. We got stuff we're going to give away. Not for sure what we're going to give away yet. We're throwing around some ideas. But everybody that buys a ticket will get the free prize. It's not a prize, a free gift, I guess.
Like I've said before, Zarda has the best sauce there is.
They got the ghost pepper sauce. Actually, I ate some of that yesterday, Steve, with some chicken wings, man. Oh, by the way, tickets to that, though, will go on sale here soon. I want to say in the next 2 weeks, we'll throw out a link for those tickets, and you can get them. Like I said, it's going to be 50 tickets. That's all that's available. We can't have people just show up at the door, because, again, we don't want to make Zarda mad. They're actually going to host it and be nice enough to do that. So
there are going to be some cool people there, though. I will tell you guys that.
Yeah, we're talking to a lot of people to get some special guests there with us. So it's going to be kind of a cool thing. I just want to be able to talk to you guys and meet you guys. So
right. Chief Kelce throwing out the impossible question right here. Let's see. If you added slaps into this conversation, I would say that's the 4 best places in Kansas City for barbecue.
Dude, Joe's, Jack Stacks, or Q39. That's tough to pick. I think if I had if you put like
death.
Right, if you put like me to a bridge and you're like, I'm going to kick you off if you don't pick one, I think at the end of the day I'd probably take Q39. And the only reason I say that is because at Joe's, I love the Z-Man. It's classic.
That's the
Q39
with the burnt-in burger.
Jack Stack's got such good food, man. From the cornbread to the mac and cheese now they just put on the menu.
Their burnt-ins are good.
Their burnt-ins are great. They got some of the best burnt-ins, if not the best, I think.
Baked beans.
But the thing about Q is I can order barbecue and it's amazing. I can order the sides and it's amazing. I could even get the burger with the burnt-ins on it.
The burnt-in burger is one of the best sandwiches. Like that and the Z-Man.
Their chicken wings. Now, I will say you'll go broke eating Q39.
The mac and cheese at Q39 is top notch.
It's top notch. Jack Stack's just added mac and cheese, at least I think, and it holds to Q's. We got it last time we were there at the parade, and it held. Remember, Steve, you tried it a little bit. Pops got it with some pulled pork on it or something like that, but it was pretty solid. But yeah, I think I would take Q39 if I had to choose. If there was an out-of-towner, though, I'd tell him to go hit up Joe's. That's classic, right? To go to the
Chris
gas station.
Wright with the 5 gifted. Appreciate you, buddy.
Chris gifted more.
That gifting turned on.
Oh, yeah. HD Chiefs fan. Lon Hoffman. Spam the ketchup, baby. Trish is now a member. Still Gaming is a member. There's one more out there, people. Turn your gifting on. There's one more available. We appreciate you, Chris.
Yep. J. Cruz says, bro, $10 is nothing. You guys are the coolest. I can't wait for this year season. More because of you guys. Hard to find Chiefs fans in Florida. Yeah, I bet it is, man. It's kind of like that Kentucky. It's funny, though, because now that they're winning, you'll start seeing more Chiefs stuff. This is funny, actually. Like where we live at, like Louisville area, Fort Knox, all that. Actually, if anyone sees anything Chiefs, like on a car or anything like that, they automatically associate it with our family. Like they know, they're like, oh, I knew that was you. There was an arrowhead on there. There was the Chiefs stuff. Like that's how, we were like the only people that have been Chiefs fans like that. And then now, I go out and I see it all the time, just popping up everywhere.
Hey, you know what's weird, Steve? Though,
Kingdom is growing.
When you grow, when we go to KC, for us, it's insane because you go to KC and you see everybody wearing Chiefs stuff. It's like culture shock because where we grew up, it was rare. Yeah, it was rare to see it. If you seen a Chiefs shirt in a, in a Goodwill, you were like, "Whoa, I'm buying this." Even if it didn't fit you, you're buying it because it said Chiefs on it.
You would see that one person wearing a Chiefs shirt, and you'd be like, "Hey, man, go Chiefs!" You'd be like, "I just got the shirt at Goodwill."
If you seen a guy, a lady, anybody wearing Chiefs, you were instant best friends. It was, how about those Chiefs? And no matter where you was, and you took over the place. And that's what it is. And then when we go to KC, everybody does it. So you just feel like you're in like some kind of Chiefs heaven. Dude, I take that right now, though, because I went to Nashville, and there was a guy playing drums in one of the bars, and it was an open bar. So his back was to the window. The window was open. He had a Chiefs hat on playing drums. I walk up to the bar, pat him on the shoulder, and he turns around, and I'm like, "Go Chiefs!" And he's like, "Yeah, baby." He just stopped playing music, and we just started talking about it. And that's what it is. Like outside, if you see that arrowhead, man, you're instant friends and family. It's crazy.
Jack Green with the 5 gifted. We appreciate you, Jack.
Appreciate you, Jack.
Hope you're doing good. Always supporting. You guys are awesome. Give Jack some ketchup bottles too. I just want to see a bunch of ketchup bottles. K. Wayne says Zarda where? It's Blue Spring, correct?
Yeah, it's the Blue Springs location. There is another one in Lenexa, but Lenexa, I don't think they wanted to host. I don't know if they had something else going on or something. I've actually got to call and confirm it this week. He's penciled it in. I wanted to run it by. We wanted to get the logistics right. We wanted to do everything, but it's going to be the Zarda in Blue Springs. Not for sure the exact I mean, you guys can Google map it or something, but it's a pretty cool spot. Me and Steve have been there a few times eating at that one, and it's pretty nice. It's totally like the cool thing is too, like, yeah, the cool thing is we're just going to have the back room. So we're going to be able to mingle, sit where you want, talk to us. We're like we said, we're talking to other guests, other Chiefs content creators, other Chiefs talking heads. I'm even maybe reaching out to a player here and there. No guarantees because they're at camp, so pretty sure they're not going to be able to do it. But either way, the point is we may have some cool people. It might just be us if everybody bails on us, but either way.
Ex-players.
Yeah, $10 to just come hang out with a bunch of like-minded Chiefs crew, meet the crew, hang out, and you can eat if you want. You don't have to. It's not guaranteed. So, yeah, and we're only doing the 10 again just because it's a 50 ticket count and we cannot go over that, so we have to do 50. And if we're like, hey, they're free, and then some, Joe Blow over here says, yeah, me and my family's coming, reserve me 5 spots, and then he don't show up, that's 5 people that miss out. So we were like, if you put $10 down, maybe that'll make people actually take it seriously, So
check this out.
It is what it is.
So they do have QT in Nashville, and we love it, obviously. They got Hy-Vee coming in Nashville? That's freaking awesome. That's
I love
cool.
Hy-Vee, man. You can pick up – they may actually – put some Kansas City stuff in the Hy-Vee. You might be able to get like the barbecue sauces and stuff, which me and Steve found that. Steve, what was it the other day? We were at an Ace Hardware and they were selling They were selling barbecue sauce. Yeah, they sold Joe's. They sold Cowtown products. They sold Arthur Bryant's. So that's pretty cool too, because that's all the way in Kentucky now, which is pretty awesome. And actually, Franklin, Kentucky, which is right in Tennessee or Kentucky before you cross into Tennessee, they actually sell Zarda baked beans in like an IGA, like a store around here. They had Zarda baked beans, and I actually bought some. So Kansas City's branching out, baby. Football's doing wonders.
Mike Rock Truck Chief says you don't have to justify that $10, bro.
Well, the reason you don't because, but I'm just saying we didn't want to charge. That wasn't our thing. Like, we're not trying to make money. So we don't want to charge, but the reason we had to is that I just wanted to make that perfectly clear. And I'm giving you guys gifts because I don't want everybody to feel like you had to pay to come meet us. We're just
Mike's
two idiots.
putting all the money in his pocket and he's going to go buy stuff with it.
We ain't going to get much out of it.
He's going to Rally House and getting some gear.
Yeah, whatever. Hey, well, I ain't going to get too much at Rally House. You might get a hat.
Nope. Yeah, well, we're about to wrap this bad boy up. If you guys don't care, do us a favor and smash that like button on your way out. That'd be much appreciated. If you're new here, thanks for joining us. Make sure to hit that sub button. Come hang out with us more often. We'll be back live on Wednesday, and should be good. We'll keep pumping out the off-season content here the best that we can. So there's that. Mike, you got anything left for these guys?
Hey man, if you guys got any ideas for shows, any segments you want to see, anything, if you got pictures, anything like that, send it over to allchiefedup@gmail.com. And yeah, man, we'll talk to you over there, whatever. And we appreciate you being here, man. It's awesome. Off season sucks, but we're getting through it, guys. We only got like 2 more weeks, and we're back at camp, baby. So go Chiefs.
Yeah, for sure. Had a good time.
There goes a sight from my soul.